From Kensington Gardens to Keswick, from Maylands to Moana, we delivered unprecedented results for our clients. With ongoing low stock levels and a large pool of buyers, premium prices are achievable if you engage an agent who really knows their stuff. Find out if your home could be the next record breaker. Go to toop.com.au.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Cloudy this afternoon, cloudy tomorrow, 24. With the 4 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. A pedestrian has been struck by a train at Grange less than 24 hours after a schoolboy was struck at Evanston Gardens. Today's incident happened near Terminus Street just after 1:30 this afternoon. It's understood the victim was a woman. She's in hospital with life-threatening injuries. Train services in the area have been suspended while police investigate. The 11-year-old hit yesterday on the way to school remains in a critical condition. An alarming trend is emerging on the state's roads, with the number of fatalities far higher in the country than in the metro area. There have been 2 more lives lost today, a 35-year-old man and 37-year-old woman killed when their RAV4 and Toyota Hilux collided head-on at Lincoln Gap on the Eyre Peninsula. A 27-year-old male passenger is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Acting Superintendent Damien Eichner breaks down the crash statistics for 2023.
26 road deaths this year, 12 at the same time last year. Of those 26 deaths, 19 of them have occurred on country roads, with only 7 of those lost lives in the metropolitan area.
Labor is hopeful that inflation has reached its peak, with monthly figures showing a drop in the cost of living. While inflation came down in January, other figures show the economy grew 0.5% in the December quarter, the expansion mainly driven by coal and iron ore sales. But Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers is concerned households are dipping into their savings to pay bills.
Interest rates are biting. Higher inflation has been biting in our economy, and we're not immune from global conditions either. I'm confident that we can get through this. I'm confident that the worst of inflation is behind us rather than ahead of us, but we don't pretend away the substantial challenges in our economy.
The water quality at one of our metropolitan reservoirs is being monitored with the help of a drone. The technology has been trialled at Happy Valley Reservoir in recent weeks. Dr Torsten Mosisch from the Australian Water Quality Centre says drones could be the way of the future.
We need to make sure that all of this is comparable with our current techniques that we use for sampling. And if everything ticks our boxes in terms of quality assurance and quality control, we will then pursue this further.
The head of the World Health Organization has pledged to fully support Turkey's government in its response to the recent earthquakes. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus has visited some of the hardest hit areas and says the situation for those in camps who have lost their homes will be a priority.
We have discussed with His Excellency the Minister some of the challenges now we see in the camps we have visited. And these are like respiratory infections, gastrointestinal infection, especially mental health problem, because many people are really traumatized.
China is accusing the US of abusing state power after the White House banned TikTok from government devices. The EU and Canada have made similar rulings because of fears the app gives user data to the Chinese government. US Congress could give President Biden the authority to ban the app across the United States. Now turning to FIVEAA sport, and Australia's spinners are having a session to remember, with India losing 5 wickets in the opening hour of the 3rd test. Left-arm spinner Matthew Kuhnemann took the first 2 wickets after an opening spell from quick Mitchell Starc. Then Nathan Lyon clean bowled India's number 3. India now 5 for 68. Port's Travis Boak has been ruled out of tomorrow night's clash with Fremantle. Junior Rioli has also been ruled out. And Lions coach Chris Fagan's contract has been extended until the end of 2025. The club also naming co-captains, with Harris Andrews and Lachie Neale taking the reins. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Elizabeth South, got a crash, Colgan Road at Phillip Highway. Evanston Gardens got a tree down there, Clark Road near Dawson Road, blocking the intersection inbound. Semaphore, urgent electrical works, Military Road near Semaphore Road, down a 1-lane outbound. And we're busy at the moment, Cormac Road at Johansson Road. Cameras, Barnes Road, Glen and Stanley Street at Leybrook. Now the OTR app makes happy washing your car even easier. Select and pay with the OTR app. Scan, wash, go. Happy wash, happy car at OTR. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Cloudy this afternoon, cloudy tomorrow 24, Friday mostly sunny 26 and 28 on Saturday. Right now it's 22. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Highway tragedy. 2 more lives lost as SA's road death toll spirals. Policing problems. Our police force slammed in a leaked letter. A crime investigation's being left to languish. Facebook marketplace fraudsters targeting Aussies. The latest scam to avoid. And the supermarket hot chicken verdict. CanStar's official winner. I'm Brenton Raglas. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
Oh, a big welcome to the 5AA Sports Show. It is thanks to Foodland. Timmy G's in the skipper's chair. S-Row, well, I'm just the co-pilot. Big show. Love your interaction. It's our team of the decade. It's the 80s. We're looking at the forwards. Get to it right now. Get your nominations in 82230000. Timmy, a big welcome.
Yes, you know, I always get excited about these teams, and I've got to say tonight,
I love it.
The flashy forwards, I'm calling them, and we had a lot of flash going on in the 80s, because it was an era where you tried to outscore your opposition, didn't you?
First to 101.
Absolutely, and hypercolour T-shirts came out, and
mullets.
Exactly, it was everywhere.
Did you have a mullet?
Of course I did. Yeah, it was you know, business at the front and party at the back. Loved it.
Mine was shocking. Not quite as big as Steve Kernahan's. Same colour because I'm jet black.
Yeah, and you got a thick thatch up there.
A thick thatch. Roger Luders will join us as our 80s representative of the forward line. So get them coming in. I think I've only really got one lock, Steve Kernahan.
I can't see, personally, Stephen Kernahan not being centre forward.
No.
I can't see it.
It's your team, it's the listeners' team. Get to it.
A lot of good players in that era. Peter Bennett for North Adelaide at centre forward. Of course, Darren Smith played a lot of years for Port Adelaide at centre forward. Before him, Milan Faletic. But, you know, I just can't see anybody pipping Stephen Kernahan.
We want your front six. This is your team of the 80s, the team of the decade. 82230000. We got that $50 Powers voucher.
Correct.
We'll take your calls after the break. Hey, the third test indoor started today, 2:30. India won the toss. They batted. Surprise, it's another, dry, low bouncing, turning deck. There's not an ounce of grass. Looks like a 7th day Aussie deck. The doctor pitches again to the hilt.
Well, I mean, the problem is it's not doing India any favours at the moment.
They're 5 for 70.
Yeah, they're 5 for 70. What I'm concerned about is it's turning a lot, and they've got very good spinners.
Goodness.
Who are experienced with their conditions. I'm going, well, what could happen to us if that's the case?
It's going square already.
It's not I was just about to say, not a batter's paradise, that's for sure.
The first cod of the day sent down by Stark was a nick through to Kerry. It wasn't given out, nor did they appeal it.
View it.
The third ball was a plum LBW.
Oh, he goes again. He goes again. Steve Smith is asking the fielder at point. And the tracker, impact, hitting. So that would have been 2 in the first over.
Yeah, should have been. They should have reviewed both. And just as we speak, there's a
review going on.
DRS.
Yep.
Murphy bowling just outside leg. This is to Virat Kohli. Doesn't get back to it, and that looks plumb.
It certainly hit him low enough.
Tell your story.
It's whether it's turned enough, and it is turning a lot. We saw one just earlier get overturned, but I tell you what, when it's Virat Kohli, you definitely have a go, don't you, with the DRS? We've already lost one review.
Well,
let's hope this one isn't lost.
Yeah. T20's officially killed Test cricket, I reckon.
Wow.
It's meant to go for 5 days. It's a test of bat against ball. This is a test of who can stay in the longest.
He's out.
He's out. Tell your story walking. Murph's got his first, and here are the other 5.
Oh.
He's gone. Beaten in the flight.
Another wicket.
A bit of fun.
He's got the number on Cheteshwar Pujara. Gone. The very next delivery, a short pitch delivery.
6 for 70, Virat. Tell your story walking. This test could be over in 2 days.
Well, I think this evening.
Could it be over?
I think this evening.
Actually, if someone knows the answer to that, we love the interaction of our listeners.
Yeah.
What is the shortest test ever?
Ah, great call. That would be...
Overs bowled.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brisbane's got to be close. That was over in 2 days, wasn't it?
There you go.
Earlier this year.
There you go.
Well, sorry, late last year.
Okay.
That was over in 2 days.
6 for 70, India. Remember, they won the toss and batted. It is just low and turning square.
I think it's a minefield. If it's doing this day one, and then we saw Nathan Lyon's delivery outside off, turned back, stayed about 2 inches high, bowled the Indian batsman. I'm going, if it's turning like that on the 9th over, what's going to happen? Day 2.
Yeah, well, let's hope Australia can stay in. A lot of texts on the Foodland text, who's in and who's out. We know Cummins is out. We're thinking about you, Paddy. Warner's out. Tell your story walking. Green and Stark are in. And it looks like Trav Head will open.
Yeah. No, I think that's
like it when I say that, do you?
Which one? Tell your story walking?
Yeah, well, you're thinking it. You agree with me?
I'm not missing him.
Hey, today's day one of the PSP in the AFLW competition. They're heading into their 8th season.
Yep.
And it'll only be the 2nd season with all 18 clubs. Now, the PSP is the priority signing period. I only found this out today. So the bottom 4 new clubs, that's the Bombers, Hawthorn City and your Port Adelaide, they can raid or cherry pick the top 8 clubs or the top clubs players. They can get whoever they want. And again, I think it just compromises for equality because they're still building the comp. I get that. Let's remember, it's only 8 seasons old. So I reckon it's a bit unjust, it's a bit unfair, and some will even say it's a bit of a joke. So here's Shani Layton, who was an AFLW player, terrific netballer.
Yep.
She converted over, and she's after equal pay for men and women.
The argument still comes up around that women need to be bringing in more money, whether it's bums on seats, whether it's broadcast deals, to be able to get paid more. However, we haven't had the opportunity to play at the elite level, for over 100 years the men were. And so there needs to be some ground made up and some contribution to make up for the fact that we haven't been on the same level for such a long period of time. And actually being equal means that we actually need more than equal at the moment to catch up to where they are.
Do you Jews? I mean, honestly, I think it's economics, it's supply and demand, it's appeal as one thing. It's earn your keep, earn your stripes. How about organically? How about this, Lani, and women similar with their view on AFLW? How about improve the standard and I think the rewards will come? Develop the game. Don't come across. That to me just comes across as money hungry. And here's a thought. Here is a really good thought. If you want to take the leaf out of anyone's book, have a look at how the Australian women's cricket team go about their game. They never complain about equal this, equal that, we're doing this, we're doing that. They get on with being great. They don't stand there, big-mouthed, with cap in hand. And it just rubs sporting people up the wrong way.
The issue for mine is, Rowey, I don't think at this stage it is a men versus women argument at all.
Should never be, and it never was with the Australian women's cricket team or the Matildas.
It's about a competition that has come to life 7 years ago where the AFL brought it in underneath its banner.
And it's come a long way.
And it has, but it's got years to go.
Of course it has.
Because if it's to catch up to the standard of what I say is what we have now in this nation of cricketers, the women's cricketers are fantastic to watch. Fantastic to watch. And it's a really good standard and they're a good
and
players.
They've done it organically.
But it's taken years.
That's right.
And what's happened at the moment, and what you just mentioned about the PPP and all the rest of it, what I'm worried about, you're saying about the clubs now, the bottom clubs get to poach the top clubs. What you've done is you've advanced it too quickly.
Correct.
We should have had 9 teams or 8 teams for a lot longer and then squirted it out 2 clubs at a time over 20 years.
Absolutely.
We have rushed this and we've got 18 clubs to fill. It's too much. The talent pool, because like 7 years ago, it exploded and everybody wanted to play. Now that thins out always. But what you do over time, over 10, 15, 20 years, you build up a lot of 7-year-old girls that become 18, 20-year-old women who can play the game because they've learned it from day dot.
Yeah,
That's
well
what it's
said.
about. It's about building a whole brand over time.
These Shani quotes don't help. Mate.
Well, what happens is you're playing now, you're panicking, I'm going to miss out on the payday.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? There's a lot of Australian cricketers,
That's
and
right.
Karen Rolton's one of them.
There you go.
Who's got a ground
Well
named
said.
after it because she was that good that didn't get the payday.
Yeah, well said. Beautifully said. Hey, this quote was said by a star Rooster player in the NRL, and it's appropriate for some people in the AFLW, so I'd like them to switch their ears on. Here's his quote. The more you get professional, the less you worry about money, and the more you worry about winning and getting better. Hallelujah. What a great quote. And I look at that at teams like Geelong. They will sacrifice their pay to get other people in so they can win a flag. Put Adelaide there now. I don't reckon any of them would go cap in hand, I want. You know what? They want greatness. They want to win.
They've lost quite a few senior
And that's
players,
part
so
of your
they're in a
development.
better position now as far as that payday goes, but they're going to have to pay the young superstars
a little bit more. Timmy, Live Golf at Grange has sold out. Well, General Admission has. We're going to speak to the Minister, Zoe Bettison, after the break.
Yep.
How are tickets going? I think it looks like there might be a couple of nasty little surprises.
Well,
in
I
here.
think in the Brekkie show this morning they released that there's going to be more GA tickets
Pembo said that
released,
at Breaking
which
Day.
is great.
Yep.
But I got my phone went off this morning.
Oh, no.
And because what happened, and I'll give you...
It went off, it was turned off.
No names mentioned, all right? No, it went off. It
Can
went
I
off.
No, all right.
No. So what happened was one bloke said to me, Timmy, you're probably aware, but we had to pay $75 deposit to be on a list to get hospitality packages, which is cool.
Which have just been released.
And then these guys with their mates said, rightio, we'll go and have a look at the options. These guys chose a package. It cost them $484 for the day, which is...
For a day or for the 4 days?
That's for the day.
Okay.
Now,
Wow.
it's a big ticket item, right? Anyway, so they said, yep, we're happy with that. When they went to check out, an additional $125 in taxes and fees were added.
Ticket.
Per ticket.
Oh, wow.
That is unbelievable.
So where does that money go to live?
Well, I don't know where it
Fees
goes.
and
I'm not
taxes.
sure, but within a minute of me talking to this chap, another one came through. Now, I'll tell you, I don't know where the blame comes for fees and taxes, and that's what I want to try and find out for these poor buggers. Another one who bought the Shark Shack at the watering hole, 6 tickets, $2,400, so that's around about $400 a ticket. Fees and taxes, another $626. That was the biggest shock that they got. What it's done, though, it's soured them. It's soured them. They're now upset about going where they were really looking forward to going. Now they're upset about it. And 2, good luck getting them to buy hospitality next year.
Well, I'd want Coffin Bay oysters, Wagyu steak, quail, escargot. Is that what it is? What are those snail
yeah,
things?
it is.
What are those fish eggs?
You
What
got
are
it
they
right.
called?
That's caviar.
Yeah, I'd want all of that for that sort of coin.
I just
want
don't
Rusden black guts.
I just don't like the surprise.
Nah, fickle.
If you do think you're paying that and then you get that at the end.
You don't want a surprise.
There are no surprises, Stephen.
Can we take that with the minister?
Well, can I ask a question?
Okay.
May well handball it. That's all right, though.
Hang on, I just put one and one
Did
together.
I just do a breaking at
Hang
4?
Hang on. I've just put one and one together. This is a mate of yours who's bought the tickets.
That's
now
one of them.
you're up for $400 plus the 100.
Well, you know I'm
Are
upset.
you buying one of those tickets? You're speaking through your pocket, T.
No, he actually didn't include me in that, so I'm dirty on him. Not now, though, when I saw that, fees and taxes.
Okay, get to it, 822 300 00. Who is in your team of the 80s? We're taking your calls now. It is the front 6, it's the forwards.
Gee,
It's
big
your
names.
turn to nominate. We've got a $50 Powers voucher. This is your team. After the break, we'll take your calls.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The 7-seat Kia Sorrento, Kia's most awarded large SUV ever. Unlike any other SUV in Australia, the unrivaled Kia Sorrento is available in diesel, petrol, hybrid and plug-in hybrid technologies. The Kia Sorrento, awarded and unmatched like no other 7-seat SUV. To find out more, visit kia.com.au or visit your nearest Kia dealer.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Get a read on today with The Advertiser. Get a read on budget-saving tips and lunches cheap as chips. Get a read on today and subscribe for less than you think. Hurry, search The Advertiser offer today.
Got some new titles for you when you're doing a barbecue, okay? You're not just a bloke having a barbie. You are a tong master. And you don't just flip snags, you earn the title of Backyard Hospitality Director.
Big
How do you
title.
do that?
Big title.
I tell you how you do it. You get a kitchen from Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. They are legendary. You can choose from the best appliances, add a beer fridge, put a pizza oven in, do anything. Most of all, you can stun your guests with these custom-made concrete bench tops. They're immaculate.
Well, they're the big thing at the moment, indoor concrete bench tops. These handmade bench tops can really update any kitchen space. Custom-made for you. Every piece is uniquely yours, especially for Una. You.
Correct. Now, give them a call for a consultation. You can see Claire or Justin, and they'll take you through the showroom, show you the bench tops and everything else you can do with them. Now, they're at Seaford Meadows. They're at Farrow Circuit. I've been there, had a look. It's very impressive, and you'll be entertaining in no time whatsoever. Now, the best backyard hospitality directors always choose Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Go and check them out at adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
Here at FIVEAA, we're all about supporting local. See classic F1 cars, Group A, V8 supercars, alongside electric race cars and brand displays at Victoria Park, March 25 and 26. Search Adelaide Motorsport Festival.
Hi, I'm Kate Stock from Good 360 Australia. At Good 360, we help people and the planet by creating a circle of good, connecting businesses with new, unsold goods to people in need, so nothing goes to waste and everyone benefits. If you're a business willing to donate goods or would like to make a financial donation, get in touch. Or, if you're a charity or disadvantaged school, register via our website to order the goods you need at good360.org.au.
Every day, 6 white t-shirts are ruined by deliciously messy fresh pork ribs from Aldi. Your shirt could be next. Aussie pork ribs now only $16.99 a kilo. Aldi. Good. Different.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Oh, that's a close shot. And it's been given. Joel Wilson, the umpire in question, has got no hesitation. And it's Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli is out thanks to Murphy. A beautiful little DRS decision too. We got hold of that one. Let's check your traffic.
At Cavan, got a van broken down, Churchill Road north of Port Wakefield Road, blocking the middle of the intersection. Elizabeth South got a crash, Cogman Road at Phillip Highway, while at Evanston Gardens got a tree down, Clark Road near Dawson Road, blocking the intersection inbound. Busy at the moment, Cormac Road at Johansson Road, and we've got a camera at Glenburn Road at Burnside. Fox Hills, a winning deal, is on sale now. Get drama, movies, sports and Netflix all in one place. Search Fox, call 131787. New customers only, offer ends April 20. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
6 for 82. Lions got an appeal for LBW. It was given not out. They've gone upstairs.
Again?
Smith been red hot. He's done the tee.
It's the third one.
He's done the tee.
We've
and
lost
they're just
two, haven't
waiting
we?
for DRS. Pitched out line, not given out. So I doubt they'll give it out. Hey, I've just had an observation after the second test. The Aussies have found a barber in a hall.
Yeah, they have.
They've all got new roofs.
Yeah.
Haven't they?
Oh, there's some sharp do's out there at the moment. Very sharp.
God, will stay with us. We'll keep you up to date with those scores. Let's go to Kersbrook. We're looking for our 80s team of the decade.
Yes.
Hello, Andy.
Hey, g'day, boys. How are you?
Good, Andrew.
I'm spewing about that cricket. I believe I've got a new employee at the moment, and I saw the odds this morning. I'm like $5. I'm like, this is what Australia will win this. I'm like, I put a lazy bit of money on it, and I forgot it. Forgot to do it.
Well, you never know, though, Andrew, because this game can turn anywhere, my friend. I tell you right now.
Oh, I bet you they're like $1.20 now.
Oh, sorry, Andy. They've just given him out. They're 7 for 82.
Oh.
Hey, we got a bat yet.
Hey, Andy, stay on the line. We'll get your call. Foodland text. We asked for the shortest test ever. Well, I love our listeners collectively. They're so smart. 109.2 overs, 656 balls in 1932, Australia, South Africa at the MCG.
Wow.
God, what sort of a pitch did they dish up there?
Oh, back then they played when it rained, so, yeah. No, we were after Andrew's nomination. Did he give us one?
Oh, Andy, did you give it to us?
Give it to us, mate.
Yeah, Grenville Dietrich for sure.
Oh, Big Grenville, yeah.
Captain Pizzas.
Had him written down here.
It's a little bit before my time in South Australia, but when I came here, everyone told me his stories, and his stories of drinking West End cans warm out the boot of his cars is equally as good as his football stories, I think.
Oh, Andrew, one of the smartest things I heard Grenville do one day was he couldn't get a lift home, and he went to a pizza shop and he said to them, "Do you deliver?" And they said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I'd like to order 3 pizzas for X whatever the address is, 9 Eli Street, rah. Anyway, when they finished them, they said, "Yep." He said, "You deliver?" And they said, "Yep." He said, "Right, put them in the car and I'll come with you." He got delivered with the pizzas.
But see,
how clever's that?
That's smart.
That
isn't
is
it?
smart.
He had the bullnose veranda over the tool shed, but used to sit on people's shoulders. He was our plugger.
An incredible leap.
Oh,
beautiful kick for
never
goal.
fumbled.
And I said to him one day, if ever there's a trivia night on sport, I'm going with him. He's one of the best ever.
Yeah,
very
lovely
smart,
man.
sharp brain.
Yeah, we're thinking of you, Grenville. Let's go to Phil.
How you going, boys?
Fearless.
I wonder if Stephen Kernahan would have been the best player South Australia ever seen if he stayed. If we got to see him for another 12 years,
Yeah,
he could have been best ever.
Well,
be up there, Phil.
He certainly is on the Australian stage, isn't he, Phil? Anyway, because of his performance at Carlton. And I do you think he was more suited to centre half forward?
I'd say if he played another 12 years for Glenelg, he probably would have lifted the trophy, I reckon, 5 times, I reckon.
Yeah, that's fair call because very hard man to stop. Don't worry about that. So
Well, he just was a magnificent
so good
overhead.
overhead. So good overhead. It
He
was
used
amazing.
to do those helicopter balls.
He could.
His drop was a bit.
His ball drop was a little questionable. Yeah, at
God, he
times.
was a
but
star.
Great player.
Great bloke too.
Good fella.
What's the song he
Ripper.
sings and tips beer on his head?
Ah, yeah. Stand by your man.
Stand by your
Don't ever
man.
play that on radio
No.
again.
Hello, Brett.
Yeah, g'day boys. How you going? Look for the forward line, you've got to have Kerners at centre half forward. That's a lock in.
Yep.
On the other half forward flank, I'll be putting Roger Woodcock. 700 goals from a half forward flank. I think it's pretty good.
He made the 70s team, actually.
He's
Did
in
he
our
make the
70s.
70s?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's change that then. Let's put that Rodney Maynard. Maynard from Glenelg. I think it was Peter Maynard on the half forward flank.
Yep.
Peter Maynard, great player. And then on the other half forward flank, I'm going to put in Peter Motley, just for the fact that, he's a great player and I can't fit him in the centre line there. Now, in the forward line, I'm going to go Pearson from Woodville in the pocket.
Ooh, Trev. Yeah.
I'm putting Grenville at full forward, and on the other pocket, I'm putting Roger Luders.
There you go. We're speaking of Roger, aren't we?
Yeah, after five, we're speaking of Rog, so good call.
Neville Roberts, little nifty.
Yep.
Rocky Roberts is getting a lot of nominations for the
Yep.
forward pocket. So I think if, say, Ludus makes full forward, or who else would there be? Evans?
Well, I'll
How
give you
many
an
goals did
idea.
Evans kick?
I'll give you an idea. Roger Luders kicked 506 goals in the 80s. Grenville Dietrich, 517 goals.
Wow.
Stephen Nichols, 500 goals. Tim Evans won the 1980-81-82 Ken Farmer medals and kicked 694 goals
God, it's going to be hard to knock him out.
in the 80s. How
Wow.
unbelievable is that?
How unbelievable is that? Keep those nominations coming in for our team of the decade, the 80s. India are 7 for 82. After the break, we're going to speak to SA Tourism Minister, Minister Zoe Beddison.
Zoe, yeah.
About...
Lovely Zoe.
About...
Oh, the whole gather around, how it's gathering around, all right. It's going crazy.
We are absolutely flying. It is smack on 4:30. Time for the 5AA News.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
Senior Constable Matt Brown from SAPOL is on the line. Matt, we've had another one of these extreme speeders down south at Hallett Cove.
That's right, David. Caught travelling at 90 kilometres over the limit last night.
Informing Adelaide.
See, if that bloke wrapped himself around a tree, it would be a tragedy, but would also be natural selection. There is a certain cohort within the injury and death statistics who just go out there like this half-wit. 40-year-old man.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Phil Hoffman Travel, Insight Vacations and Trafalgar invite you to explore the best that Britain and Europe have to offer. See the highlights of Spain and Portugal, the country roads of Scandinavia, or discover Britain and Ireland with up to 25% off tours worldwide this year. Uncover a world of new experiences on your next journey with award-winning touring companies Insight Vacations and Trafalgar. Hurry, offer ends 16th of March 2023. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel or visit pht.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Hi, it's Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop Real Estate. Did you know we achieved record sale prices in 26 suburbs across Adelaide in 2022? From Colonel Light Gardens to Croydon, from Kensington Gardens to Keswick, from Maylands to Moana, we delivered unprecedented results for our clients. With ongoing low stock levels and a large pool of buyers, premium prices are achievable if you engage an agent who really knows their stuff. Find out if your home could be the next record breaker. Go to toop.com.au.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, I'm Mel Usher. A pedestrian has been struck by a train at Grange less than 24 hours after a schoolboy was hit at Evanston Gardens. The victim is fighting for her life in hospital. Police have pleaded with drivers to do the right thing behind the wheel as our road toll increases by 2 today. New South Wales has recorded its deadliest summer on record with 28 deaths. And in sport, after winning the toss and electing to bat in the third test against Australia, India has lost 7 wickets in 2 hours of play to be 7 for 83. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Cavan, got a van broken down Churchill Road north of Port Wakefield Road, blocking the middle of the intersection there. Elizabeth South, major crash, Colgan Road at Phillip Highway, while Evanston Gardens got a tree down. Clark Road near Dawson Road, blocking the intersection inbound. Busy right now, South Road at Southona Rabbit Drive with Cameras Barnes Road, Glynn, and Main Road at Wollonga. This March, Bob Jane T-Marts have great buy 3, get 1 free plus instant cashback deals. With 15 stores located in Adelaide, they'll look after you. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, cloudy tomorrow 24. Right now it's 23 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
Every day, Respirico Scooter World helps South Australians to sleep better, breathe easier and stay mobile. For decades, the team behind Respirico Scooter World have made the world a more accessible place. From CPAP machines and oxygen equipment to scooters, Respirico Scooter World helps improve accessibility and quality of life. If something's up with your sleep or you want to get around easier, visit Respirico Scooter World or request a mobile visit. For all your sleep, respiratory and mobility needs, respirico.com.au.
If you were on North Terrace today, you might have passed by Samri, the cheese grater. Great things are happening right here in Adelaide. Bright minds are researching diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and preterm birth, to name a few. Every day and late into the night, we are working hard. If the lights are on, so are our bright minds. At Samri, we don't grate cheese. We do great things. Follow our progress at samri.org.au.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows, factory direct to you.
Nobody beats Statesman Windows, not on quality and certainly not on service. Windows, sliding doors, bifolds and more, made right here in Adelaide, factory direct to you. For windows when and where you want them, call Statesman Windows, states.com.au.
Windows when and where you want them. Oh, windows when and where you want them.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, it certainly is. 4:33 as the Australians come off for, well, it might be lunch now. 7 for 84. India in their first innings. The ball turning unbelievably, Stephen Rowe.
Well, it is. 4 AFL gather rounds have been sold out, and so are our hotels, where they're filling fast. Joining us is our Minister for Tourism, Zoe Bettison. Minister, the numbers are impressive.
Oh, look, they certainly are. The AFL gather round, 142,620 tickets sold, and that's with general admission. Fantastic numbers. It's going to be an exciting time in Adelaide in April.
justifies your government's bold, aggressive bid to the AFL for this. We beat off all the other states. So what did it cost, Zoe?
Well, obviously that's something between us and the AFL. But look, I think the key thing here is people are thinking about South Australia in a different way. We're challenging their perceptions. Sometimes we're seen as a sleepy place, but that's not who we are. We've got a lot to offer and something happening throughout the whole of the year.
Hey, Zoe, you think it's sleepy? Want to go down to the Fringe at the moment? It's not sleepy at all, is it?
No, I don't think it is, and I never thought it is, but there have been some perceptions of us in the past. We want to change those perceptions. We know that Mad March has always been busy, but we want to feel like that for all of the year.
And we're doing that at the moment. So I suppose when you first put this together to attack the Gather Round and bring it to Adelaide, was the expectation this high?
Well, you know, our Premier is someone who likes to go after things, and he's bold and ambitious, and that's what he wanted to do. This is the inaugural Gather Round, the first time the AFL is having this type of what was called a super round before. He knew it would be really something that Australians would love to watch, and he knew it would be great in Adelaide.
And of course, April being, like you said, post everything that happens in March, just extends that time out. And April in Adelaide's probably one of the best months weather-wise.
Well, it's a beautiful time. Of course, we often have Easter and school holidays during that time as well. So we see people get out and about. So it's a great time for us to showcase our city.
Has it surprised you, these numbers, Zoe? And if we look at Live Golf, that's flying as well. The hotels are building quickly and GM's been sold out.
Look, I think the numbers for the AFL Gather Round are probably the ones that I think are just astronomically fantastic. I mean, you've got 34% of people from interstate or overseas coming for those more than 142,000 tickets. Now, from what I hear, there's people who've never been to Adelaide before, and this is what's the catalyst to make them come.
Yeah, I'm loving the Premier and you ministers, you know, having a crack. I love it when a state has a crack. You spoke about perceptions. What do you say to that New South Wales Premier? I don't know, that, what's his name, that dress-up dude, that dress-up bloke? What would you say to him, Zoe?
Oh, look, I think he's got a pretty tough election on his hands, and perhaps he should concentrate on winning the hearts and minds of New South Wales. Anyone who's been to Adelaide loves our place. We've got great food, great wine, fantastic beaches, and before you know it, you're up in the hills looking at the great wildlife. We know that we do events well, like Festival, Fringe, WOMAD, it's in our DNA, but we put on events incredibly well. The rugby last year, the immersive feeling in Adelaide is something that's exceptional. I want to sell that. We've got the NRL coming for their first State of Origin in May. We do these events incredibly well.
We do. A better quote for me, Zoe, would have been, "Hey, Dom, get stuffed. Look at our numbers." Could you repeat that for me?
Well, I'm happy to tell Tom Perrottet to get stuffed any time of the year. But look, you know, the thing about it is we need people to come to South Australia. And these events, now whether it's a sporting event, a leisure event or a business event, and we're doing great guns in that business convention space, when you have an event, it's a deadline to book. So it makes people get online and book as well. Now, we heard today, obviously, more than 42,000 fans have booked their tickets for Live Golf. 40% of those are interstate or overseas.
Brilliant.
And we've just released 2,000 corporate tickets today as well.
Yeah. Zoe, our Minister for Tourism, Zoe Beddison, what's on the planning table? What else are you going really hard at? We need you to give us a scoop.
Need you to give you a scoop?
Come on.
Look, I think that the one thing I'm very, very excited about, we've already locked it in, of course, is FIFA Women's World Cup. Now, we've got the UK team, China, the Brazilians are here as well. This is going to bring a different cohort of people to Adelaide. People are getting really excited about this, but the eyes of the world are going to be looking at us for football, for soccer as we call it. And so that's a really exciting thing. Coming off, of course, having AFL, the Gather Round, and Live Golf, then we'll go into having that FIFA Women's World Cup.
Okay. Is there any coin left in the budget to have a crack at other things? Are we still going to be aggressive? Is that how we you know.
How we roll?
Roll, Zoe.
Now, you've talked to our Premier. You
I
know
have.
how
Love him.
focused we are. And we know that we're always going to look at great opportunities. I can tell you we're looking at lots of different things right now, looking at those opportunities to get people to come here, but also to stay longer as well. So we want them to come for those, you know, the gather-rounds over 3 days, but we want them to stay a few days before and a few days after.
So it's been a lovely picture that we've painted here, very positive. But this morning, I'm just wondering, which minister do I need to speak to? Because a few of my friends bought some hospitality tickets at Live, and they got some nasty fees and taxes as a big surprise at the end of it. Who do they need to speak to? What ombudsman could they ring?
Well, look, it's all been fixed up now. I understand there was a mistake from a US booking agent that added the GST in error. So those refunds will be made for GST.
Well, there's the scoop.
We've solved it.
Tourism Minister Zoe Benenson, because Timmy G was talking through his pocket at the start. He had tears streaming down his face with those add-ons.
Yeah, they were frightening. They were frightening numbers. I've got to tell you, there was a lot of complaints.
Well done, Zoe.
Beautifully done.
Zoe, go on. Minister, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here for sure. No worries at all.
No, we're over the moon. That, you know, the sports show and the Honourable Zoe Benenson have solved the issue that was worrying so many people this morning. Unbelievable.
Thanks, Zoe.
I'll tell you what, who needs a breakfast show?
I think it's good to nip these things in the bud as quickly as possible, obviously. Look, we want all eyes on our great city. We love living here. We know we want to increase people taking their holidays here, but also investing in our state. And that's the other probably story that I'd want to say is you've got some people who are attending both the Gather Round and Live Golf who like to invest and got some money to invest, and we're going to showcase our state.
Yeah, keep having a crack, Zoe. Thanks for your time.
Well played.
Lovely to talk to you guys. Thanks.
Tourism Minister Zoe Benenson there. So here we go. It's 53 days out from Gather Round. It is 61 days out from Live Golf. Get your tickets. Here's the facts. Crows v Carlton, Thursday night, sold out. Here's the facts. Brisbane v North Melbourne, up in Adelaide Hills, Mount Barker, sold out. Essendon Melbourne, Port Adelaide Western Bulldogs, sold out. So Mr. Dress Up Boy, Dom Perrottet, who our minister just told you to get stuff. Look at the numbers. Build it. No, Timmy.
Technicality.
What?
On the get stuff.
She said it.
Well.
Build it in this state and they will come.
All right, let's do that and check the traffic at the same time.
At Semaphore, got urgent electrical works, Military Road near Semaphore Road, down a one-lane outbound. Busy at the moment, James Colton Drive at Railway Terrace South, also South Road at St Donald Rabbit Drive, and got work slowing things up today at Bedford Park on the Southern Expressway. Flurry of activity happening there today. Got 2 lanes out of action heading into the city with speeds reduced. Cameras, Hay Road, Linden Park, and McGill Road at McGill. Red Roosters, $2.50 snack subs, each with succulent chicken, crisp lettuce, and your choice of sauce packed into a sub. The Roosters calling, get it where you can, while you can, available all day. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
Have you got your ticket in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery? You could win the $3.5 million grand prize in Henley Beach that comes with $250,000 in cash. You'll feel like you're on a holiday all year round in the luxurious Scott Salisbury home. Don't miss your chance to live mortgage-free by the beach. Join the fight. To see full lottery details and get your tickets, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14311. It's Shingles Awareness Week. Do you know your risk? About 1 in 3 people will develop shingles in their lifetime. If you're aged 50 and over, talk to a healthcare professional and visit knowshingles.com.au to learn more. Sponsored by GSK Melbourne.
Now, if you want the latest tech hearing aids at everyday low prices, where do you go? Specsavers, of course. No more high prices. No way. No one needs to pay more than what they deserve for the best hearing aids, do they, Stephen?
Well, there's a lot of things that's great about Specsavers. You'll find a qualified and accredited audiology professional in almost 300 stores across the country. No one can beat that.
300? It's unbelievable. Start your hearing journey with Specsavers and know what the costs are. Upfront prices, that's the main thing. You know what you're up for. You won't be charged extra for, you know, what you want. Your fitting style, the colour, everything that you prefer.
I love mission statements and I love when they live them. Specsavers do. They want to provide hearing care that's fair for all.
Fair for all.
That's why this Hearing Awareness Week, they're making some noise.
Oh, yeah, they're making a noise. Look, because everyday low prices on the latest tech hearing aids doesn't mean you compromise on quality. No siree or expert care.
So do this, book a hearing appointment. To find out more, visit specsavers.com.au/hearing. T&Cs apply.
Did you know that white lilies are one of the most popular type of funeral flowers, representing peace, grace and dignity, and a popular choice for a respectful, dignified service that doesn't cost the earth? simplicityfunerals.com.au.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. See classic F1 cars, Group A, V8 supercars, alongside electric race cars and brand displays at Victoria Park, March 25 and 26. Search Adelaide Motorsport Festival.
Afternoon, Aldi shoppers. This is a message for Kate Hassler in aisle 3. Hey, we know you see other supermarkets.
What? You do?
Yeah, it's cool. Really. Go get that smoked herring paste next door.
You're just saying that.
Nah, I mean it. But you'll save more if you shop at Aldi first.
You'll always be my first shop.
We love you.
What about me?
We love you too, Pete. Aldi. Good. Different.
I like to call it a passion. I can be sitting relaxing. I'm spending this holiday locked in. Back then, wasn't worried about me though. In the gym, trying to work on my free throw. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in.
The new Kia Seltos. That's what's poppin'. And yeah, it's got options. The new Kia Seltos. The word is out.
Brand new whip, just hopped in.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, it is, all thanks to Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. Just a little update, 7 for 84, India at lunch. Australia bowling very well, but
we're off to Lahore,
what's to come?
Shortly.
We are very shortly. But, we are trying to pick the ultimate 80s team. We did the back line last night. We're on to the flashy forwards, and I tell you what, we've got some big names. You know who's right out there in front at the moment? Big Grenville Dietrich.
And it's your team, listeners.
That's right, it is. And he's a cold hero. Roger Luders has got quite a few votes. Neville Roberts is up there as well. What I was thinking, don't forget your half forwards as well. No. Peter Motley's been voted already into defence. But they're saying he could play half forward, which he could.
Well, give us some half forward names.
But you've got to think about the ruck rovers and rovers who've got to change, don't you?
Okay.
Think about, how many rovers were there in that era? Antrobus, Nailey, Keith Thomas, you've got Darryl Hart, gee whiz, Tony McGuinness, John Platten.
See,
that's just rovers.
I don't want to lead the witness here.
No.
But Nailey, in the State of Origins, did all his work in the forward line.
Yeah, and good work.
Really good work.
Handiwork.
So if you're thinking, I'm just trying to lead.
Yeah.
If you're thinking Platten's your number one row.
Yeah.
And now why would you not? Would it be a Nailey or a Darryl Hart type?
Yeah. Like it.
Darryl Hart was a wonderful player.
Kicked 7 goals in the grand final.
In a grand final. He was more than he was a great.
He was amazing. All right, get onto the phone 8223 for those 80 selections. Got plenty on the Foodland text, which we will get to. But it's been an amazing first session of cricket over there in India in the indoor, and we're going to go live to our cricket reporter, our good friend Bharat Sundaresan. G'day, Bharat.
Good, guys. Can I just say before we get into the cricket that the first footy book I was ever given was on John Platten, and I am a big fan.
Oh, wow.
I think maybe the hair had something to do with it. But, there you go.
Did you copy the hairdo, or did you just stick with what you had?
Nah, different genre of long hair, of course, between me and him. But speaking of genre, this is a different genre of Test cricket in India. It's been played at breakneck speed. It's been amazing. It's been amazing to be here and on call. You just can't sit down.
What in the name of Alan Border has happened? I mean, it is 7 for 84 in the first innings. I can't believe how much it turned. Like, the 9th over was the Lion wicket where it turned from outside off and bowled him.
Oh, yeah. Look, we've seen some surfaces in the subcontinent where, the ball will start doing things of certain lengths. I mean, when it's really full or of a good length. But that ball in particular, the one from line to Pujara, that was pretty short. And if it's turning from that part of the pitch, the good part of the pitch, as you can call, with some grass coverage there, then it tells you a lot about how dry the surface is underneath and also how loose the topsoil is, because it's just coming off. There was this one delivery from Stark to Rohit Sharma very early on when I'm sure you guys noticed a big puff of dust and it just kind of looped into Alex Carey's gloves, and both of them smiled. And at that point, I think everybody out there realized, we better score runs quickly here because it's not going to, you're not going to last too long. And it's been quite a sensational session.
Bharat, you said grass on the pitch. I don't know what you're watching. You're there live. We're here watching it on Fox, 7 for 84. I don't think Indians know what grass is.
Well, I did once upon a time in my life, but no, I mean, I love you. It's not the kind of green grass coverage that you would see on the morning of a GABA test, but it's basically just grass that is rolled into the surface to hold it together. And it's an interesting surface. The natural composition of the soil in Indore and the western part of India, western central, is rich soil, which kind of can break up very quickly. So what they do is they add like a black clay to just hold things together, and that's in the center of the pitch, which is what I was calling the good part. And some of those balls, even the one from Koonman, where Rohit Sharma got out, it turned so much from landing there. So it tells you a lot about the surface, and it tells you also it's going to be a very, very difficult pitch to bat on. Virat Kohli, I thought, even though he just made 22 runs, that was an outstanding innings. He's kind of shown the way where if you don't panic, you can still hang in there. But even if you do, you might get that ball which gets you out like he did from Todd Murphy.
Kuhneman a 3 for 14, Lyon 3 for 23, Murphy 1 for 12. They're all moving it. I'm worried about Jadeja when he gets ball in hand because he worries us, Bharat, doesn't he?
Wow.
Oh, yeah, and even an Akshar Patel, who's really not had much to do in this series so far. Someone like him with his height, he can just keep landing the balls in that area like he always does. He'll not be a handful. He'll be deadly. He'll be almost, he can potentially be unplayable. Yeah, I mean, Australia have done everything right. And let's face it, I think their spinners have bowled beautifully. Some of those wickets were set up lovely. Todd Murphy, as impressive as ever in the third test running. So I think the bowling's been really, really good, but the pitch has played a big role in it. We'll know how the Australian batters who've been out there watching this play out, what they've taken from this pitch, and hopefully none of it is, let's go out there, there's no hope for us. If you get into that mindset, this game will be over very soon.
A great friend of our show, Bharat Sundaresan, he's live in Indore. He's a South Aussie. We love his crosses over there. Travis Head, you're there, you're live, you know what's going on. Will he open for Australia?
Oh, he will for sure. I mean, he's slated to open, and I think it's his best position in these conditions. We saw him play really, really well in that innings when he walked in place of David Warner, and I think that's what we'll see from him. And he's been striking the ball beautifully, even in training sessions here for both training days in Indore. So he seems to be in a very good space with his batting. But again, right, this at the moment looks like a lottery pitch to me, where you can do everything right, but there could still be that ball which doesn't have your name on it, but definitely has your wickets on it. So it's gonna be tough for him. But he would have loved to have bowled on this. But how are you going to get the ball out of Nathan Lyon's hands? So I'm looking forward to it. But things can move very, very quickly as they have already. And who knows? I mean, India could be batting again before the end of play. Hopefully not for Australia.
Well, that is possibility. I was wondering, is 130 going to be a good score in this first innings for either team?
No, it very well could be. I mean, the first 20-30 runs that the openers got quickly could well come into play very, very early on in this test. Because you could see just the way Rohit and Shubman Gill went after their business. Went about their business, that they realized that we need to really go hard at the Aussies early, because who knows, once the spinners come in, it's not going to be exactly how it played out. Even the shot Rohit Sharma played to get out, that was pretty uncharacteristic of him that early on against spin. So it tells you what they have decided about the pitch. And I just saw 5 minutes ago Rahul Dravid walk to the middle of the pitch. He's the Indian coach, of course, and have a chat with the curators, and he wasn't smiling either. So, yeah, a lot of question marks about this pitch. But again, or for Australia's sake, they just somehow need to not think about that pitch and just go about getting to 130, getting to 200. If you get to 200, you'll win the test match.
Great work, Bharat. Thanks for your time. Stay safe over there. We'll see you when you get home.
Anytime. Can't wait to get back to mighty Southall.
Yeah, he's a great man. Great work too, live from indoor. 7:84, it is lunchtime over there, and the wicket takers, Murphy got one, which is a ripper. Lyon is turning him square, 3 for 23, and Matthew Kuhneman, 3 for 14, who was pretty much rushed in and
Yeah,
done a remarkable job, which is great. Hey, it is our team of the decade. It's the 80s. We're taking nominations for the front six. Lines available, 8223 300 00. Timmy, a lot of people getting messages on the Foodland text. A lot of nominations.
Some crackers. What about these two from Woodville days? Johnny Klug and Andrew Taylor.
Yeah.
What about those for names? I love that. Peter Muret, of course, played in that 83 premiership team, was a terrific half-forward flank player too. Played a lot of state footy. I reckon he was an absolute must for that 83 premiership for West Adelaide. Also, don't forget, again, the smaller players. Kevin Hill from West Torrens. Do you remember Kevin Hill, number 6? He's actually the uncle of the Brad Hill that played for Hawthorn and Freo Hill. Yeah, okay. He's the uncle. I saw him at the footy one day. Gilbert McAdam, name popped up as well. Of course, won the 89 McGarry medal.
Jack Painter, half-forward
Jack Painter, another one.
Cheers, Troy.
Tell you what, here's one text, Johnny from Paraka. What about this for a lineup? Luders, Evans, Roberts. And that's, of course, John Roberts, who kicked 187 for the Roosters after coming from Woodville. Ralphie Sewer, Kernahan, McAdam. What a lineup. I'll tell you what, they're coming in thick and fast. And Tony Antrim's got a nomination from Scott at Murray Bridge. So
God, he could jump on your shoulders as well.
Well, he was as fast as lightning. I could not get near him. You know, I'll tell you what, looking at the names here, it's any wonder I didn't play much state footy.
Nah. 4 minutes to 5. We'll take your calls after the break. Get to it. Timmy, are you a fan of AFL co-captains? Because I'm just having a look here. Sydney got 3. Mills, Rampy, Parker. Richmond have got Grimes, Nankervis. North just got McDonald and Simpkin. Gold Coast, we know, took Miller and Jared Witts. Lions have just named Harrison Andrews and Lockie Neal. Co-captains.
How many captains were there on the Love Boat?
Just the one?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Captain Stubing.
But hang on. Maybe they needed 2 on the Titanic. Because they might not have hit the iceberg.
Oh, yeah.
And Gilligan's Island, look what he did.
Yeah, the skipper.
I'm a one dog, one bone man. Too many cooks spoil the broth. And too many chiefs, not enough Indians type of man. That's me.
Yeah.
Did I get enough?
One captain.
One man, one captain. After the break, we're going to have big show coming up. Roger Luders will be in our team.
Superstar.
He's getting a lot of nominations. And looking forward to this SA Redbacks. We take on, I reckon it's Queensland,
Queensland
at the
Shield.
in the Shield tomorrow.
Yep.
Nathan McAndrew, your calls. Time now for the 5AA News.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated, because it's personal.
Get the garden you want at Garden Grove. Wander through Garden Grove's beautiful nursery, blooming with thousands and thousands of plants, greenery, and all the colours of the rainbow. There are plants for inside and plants for out. For the garden you want, see Garden Grove, Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove.
Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, that's the garden. Garden Grove, the garden that I want.
Phone 8251 1111 for delivery to all areas.
Now, if your wallet's been feeling the burn, you can save cash and live cheaper with Cheap as Chips Hot Buys.
You want a few of these? I'll tell you what, get your Kevlar gloves on because these are hot, my friend. Every dog loves Schmackos, so pick up Schmackos beef straps, 1.2 kilo, just $21.99.
Ooh, fill the snack cupboard with assorted 175-gram chips. They're 2 for $6.
Bargain. Keep your dishes and glasses and kitchenware sparkling clean with Finish. 110-pack dishwashing tablets for $18.99.
Oh, wow. Battisti 200ml dry shampoo is just $7.29, and grab 3 2-litre True Blue soft drinks for only $5. $5?
$5?
Are you kidding?
Outrageous. I'll tell you what, the savings keep coming with an 8-pack of Pop-Tarts, only $7.49, and assorted Lynx 100 to 150 gram deodorants. Buy 2 and get 20% off.
How's their range?
It's too much. It's incredible.
You go from dog food to Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
Check out this week's catalogue for more hot buys in-store and online. Save cash, live cheaper with Cheapest Chips.
You can't go past the IGA Big Deal Sale for great specials right across the store. Like green seas tuna 95 grams selected varieties $1.10 each. Half price. Now at your local IGA. Offer ends March 7. Participating stores only. Exclude Foodland.
Join the Ned's Racing Open Group to connect, bet and banter with thousands of like-minded punters and see expert tips on every Group 1 race this autumn carnival. Take it to the Ned's level. T's and C's apply. See website for details. You win some, you lose more.
I'm Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Are you looking for a new GP? Western Hospital GP Clinic delivers primary care to all. Our GPs and experienced practice staff will assist you with your health journey and be there for you when you need it most, from young families to seniors. Healthcare assessments and care plans are just part of the services offered here at Western Hospital GP Clinic by our 12 friendly GPs. For more information or to make an appointment online, visit westernhospitalgp.com.au.
Ken Hall Plumbers. We're local, we're family, and we're a trusted South Aussie. Blocked drain? Leaky tap? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers. 8364 5855.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Partly cloudy tonight, cloudy tomorrow and 24. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. Our country roads have claimed 2 more lives. A head-on collision this morning on the highway between Port Augusta and Whyalla, resulting in the deaths of a 35-year-old man and 37-year-old woman. Police say it's amazing a 27-year-old male passenger survived the Lincoln Gap crash. He has non-life-threatening injuries. Acting Superintendent Damien Eichner appealing to SA drivers to act responsibly behind the wheel as our road toll hits 26 for the year.
The message today is that every collision is preventable. If people drive with consideration, abide by the road rules and protect themselves and protect other road users by their behaviours, we can help reduce the impacts of road collisions and serious injuries.
Police are investigating a serious rail crash at Grange this afternoon. A pedestrian was struck by a train at a crossing near Terminus Street just after 1:30. The 74-year-old woman has suffered life-threatening injuries and is in hospital in a critical condition. Rail services have now resumed. Yesterday, a Year 7 student was hit by a train at Evanston Gardens. He also remains in a critical condition. Labor has been forced to categorically rule out any plan to tax the family home. Michael Packey has more.
The government has released a list showing the top 10 tax breaks cost the budget $150 billion a year. Labor has moved to wind back some concessions, doubling the tax rate on superannuation amounts above $3 million. The opposition's Angus Taylor says this is the thin end of the wedge and households should be prepared for other rises.
Prime Minister and Treasurer couldn't agree today on whether or not they wanted to tax the family home.
After hours of toing and froing, Treasurer Jim Chalmers ruled out changes to capital gains tax exemptions.
We have no intention of going after capital gains tax on the family home.
As for super, Labor is planning to legislate its changes this year. They'll come into effect from 2025.
An increase in greenhouse gas emissions from agriculture and transport has offset reductions in the energy sector. New data shows overall Australia's carbon pollution barely changed last year. Increased crop production and livestock numbers are driving higher emissions in agriculture. ANZ senior economist Catherine Birch says that's because La Niña has brought more rain to Australian farms.
It was only a few years ago that we were still in drought. But the agriculture sector is still recovering from that drought. We're seeing increased crop production, increased livestock numbers as well, and that's what's pushing emissions from the sector up.
A step forward in the future of cancer treatment, a state-of-the-art suite of high-tech machinery was launched at a new cancer centre in Adelaide today. It will be available to researchers across the state under the SAMRI University of Adelaide umbrella. Professor Tim Hughes says working together is key when it comes to making breakthroughs.
The scientist that has a perspective on the actual treatment of the disease, and the clinician that knows how this is going to affect patients and how to take these new discoveries into clinical trials and eventually into effective therapy.
Now turning to 5AA sport, and Australia is on top of India at lunch on day one of the third test with the hosts 7 for 84. Victorian spinner Todd Murphy picked up the key wicket of Virat Kohli just before lunch, while Nathan Lyon and left-arm spinner Matthew Kuhnemann took the other 5 wickets. And still on cricket, the Redbacks have trained in Brisbane today. Their must-win Shield clash against Queensland starts tomorrow. To footy, and Port is taking a no-risk approach when it comes to Travis Boak. He's been ruled out of tomorrow night's clash with Fremantle. Junior Rioli has been ruled out of the clash as well after falling ill and returning home. Well, Brisbane have appointed co-captains with Harris Andrews and Lachie Neale to lead the Lions this year. Midfielder Hugh McCluggage has been appointed vice-captain. And Nick Marshall has signed a 3-year deal to stay with the Adelaide 36ers. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Semaphore, urgent electrical works, Military Road near Semaphore Road, down to 1 lane outbound. Busy at the moment, James Cogden Drive at Rowey Tourist South. Also South Road busy at Henley Beach Road. Got work slowing things up at Hindmarsh, Manton Street near Milner Street, with cameras on the drive home. Commercial Road, Seaford and Stanley Street at Leabrook. Get into your Ford dealership quick and get into an SUV quicker with Escape and Puma in stock now. See Ford.com.au for details. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight, down to 13. Cloudy tomorrow, 24. Friday, sunny, 27. Saturday, sunny, 28. Right now, it's 22 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Highway tragedy. 2 more lives lost as SA's road death toll spirals. Policing problems. Our police force slammed in a leaked letter. A crime investigation's being left to languish. Facebook marketplace fraudsters targeting Aussies. The latest scam to avoid. And the supermarket hot chicken verdict. CanStar's official winner. I'm Brenton Raglis. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It certainly is the sports show, and I tell you what's all thanks to Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. It's day one lunch. India, 7 for 84. Australia bowling sensationally.
Nice little pregnant pause there. What does
like
that mean? Do you know what that means?
Yeah, what it means is that basically I'm waiting for the audience to build suspense, and then I release the magic.
That is you, Jimmy. All due credit, my man. Big hour coming up. Roger Luder's very, very short. We've got Nathan McAndrew and Liam Santamaria. Now, the NBL finals have started, haven't they?
Well, they're about
tonight.
to. They're
Sydney
about
Kings,
to.
New Zealand Breakers.
Game 1.
Couple of Foodland texts. We've got our team of the decade. It is your team of the decade. We love your nominations. Plenty coming through. Mick Redden, that's Scott from Murray Bridge. Scott, Mick is a lock for me as a ruckman.
Yeah,
But
correct.
you've got Peter Kerry as well, but God, he was a great
Can't see
player.
them two being
Rick
knocked out
Davies has to be full forward. Well, he was our full forward.
No, he's first ruck in the 70s.
First ruck
in the 70s. He had a great season in 1983, but at the moment, Grenville Dietrich is beating them all for votes.
Yeah, how about this? Must be a Port player. Stephen from Canberra, Glenelg. Kerner centre forward, Tony Hall on one half forward flank, and Tony McGuinness on the other. Keep your calls coming in, 8223 0000. It's 5:08.
You know this excites me. I love this time of the day. Get a Walco blankie for your pool this summer and save water evaporation and money. Walco.com.au. It's time for this.
The 5AA Sports Show's Where Are They Now? Past legends, past glories.
Yes, what a great call. This bloke, I tell you what, one of the superstars of the 80s, used to take huge hangers, had hair going everywhere.
Biggest mullet of the 80s.
And I
He
saw
was
him-
Modra before Modra.
Yes, correct. And I saw him wandering the corridors. I said, hey, get in here for a minute. Let's have a chat. He kicked 506 goals, unbelievable. Westie's best ever. His career spanned 10 years. Played in that unbelievable 1983 Premiership
Great
side
team.
underneath curls. He joins us now. Roger Luders, welcome.
Thanks, boys. Very humbling, that introduction, let me tell you.
Come on, mate.
No.
This isn't the time to be modest.
No, this is this is we're talking 80s. We're talking greed is good. You name it. But what an era it was, my friend.
Oh, look, it was. And when you look back over the years and you look through the records and even the 83 grand final you talked about, I mean, it was and still is, I think, the highest score ever in a grand final, both teams put together. It was 24 goals to 20.
Unbelievable.
So it was all out aggression and attack, if you know what I mean. So, and Curls, God rest his soul, his attitude was, we go out there and kick more goals than the opposition, we win. So we play a style of footy which is all about scoring and being attacking. So
You were incredibly attacking, and I can remember one game, and I'm sure this will be in your memory bank, but it was 1983, and Port Adelaide had a pretty average season, but I reckon they were 7 or 8 up, three-quarter time.
Richmond Oval.
Richmond Oval.
Yeah, down at the whole Hello Turf, yes.
And you guys come back and win the game.
Yeah, look, I think the defenders that day gave up on us forwards, and so Tony Burgess and the defenders decided to come down and kick the goals, and and we got up in the end.
It was an amazing comeback.
Even the great coach got up out of his chair and was starting to pump the air, so it was it was a great, considering it was a minor round game, it was a great reaction. Yeah.
It almost
but may I say,
escalated
though,
your season, and Port didn't make finals after that.
May I say, any time you beat Port, it was always a very, very emotional day.
Shouldn't have brought it up.
Well, you did. He just hit it back over the net, mate. Big volley. Rog, let's talk about Curls. He was a great influence on a lot of you through that era. How many years did you have him down there?
3. We had him in 82, 83, 84. Then he went across, I don't know if you remember, he went to Perth back in the days with the
America's Cup.
Yeah.
He trained me out at South Fremantle.
That's right, yeah. He went over there as
King Kelly.
I don't know what his title
Ambassador.
was. Yeah, of one of the...
Coach.
Yeah, I reckon he was in charge of fitness and training.
Yeah, one of the boats that was it was going to
South Australian one.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
I think Hardy's had involved with it, and so he was over there for 2 years prior to the Cup, Cup defence, and he came back. He had a great time over there, I'm sure. Yeah. But he was. To go back to your point, he had a huge influence not only on football but on the men themselves about football and what to get out of it, and he liked to enjoy life as well. Footy was his passion, obviously, but there was more to life. The river, and going out and doing those sorts of things as well. So, great man.
Catching yabbies.
Yeah.
105 goals in 83. You won the flag in 83. It wasn't all about 83. You were a star through your whole era, 78 to 87. It's our team of the decade. It is the 80s. You're having an unbelievable amount of nominations, and it's the listeners that vote for this, Rog. Who did you struggle on?
Struggle?
At fullback, who used to?
Who was painful?
Whoever towelled you.
Well, toweling probably. Phil Brooksby, I had trouble with down at South Adelaide.
The big fella.
Big fella, yeah. He didn't mind giving you a whack either, and I think I mentioned to you earlier, I stood Danny Hughes a couple of times early in the 80s, and he didn't want to get the ball.
Apologies for that.
Yeah. So, and look, then there was other guys like Stephen Bowen from Centrals, and Peter Bubner. I stood him a couple of times. He was very quick, so you couldn't get away from him.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that I struggled every time on some of these blokes. You'd struggle occasionally. David Wildy, I stood him numerous times. So,
Tommy Warhurst, my Tommy.
Tommy was a great man.
Good tackler.
Ian Stazanowski before him.
Staz.
So
You used to sit on Staz's shoulders.
Staz got a bit slower as the years went on.
You used him as a stepladder, now be honest.
And look, even like blokes like Keith Coleman when he went to Glenelg. So there was always some big names playing at fullback that you loved standing. It was a bit of a challenge, but I always say you relied on your blokes in front of you too to make sure the ball got to you in the right way. There's no point sticking it right up in the air every time because I wasn't as tall as some of them. But no, it was just a great era. And I was thinking, because I heard a bit of it last night when you were talking about the defenders and talking to Gibbsy, and it's there was some blokes that who probably didn't get named last night.
Yeah.
They're bloody good defenders as well.
Yeah, well, you've named a few.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so-
We can't go back. The listeners have picked this.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
People think it's you, Timmy, but it's
Nah,
the listeners.
Not me, I'll tell you right now.
Well, as long as George didn't get in there, I'll be happy.
How come everyone says that? I'm in that camp.
He won't get it on my watch, I'll tell you right now. I have to talk to him. That's the problem.
Well, that's your problem.
Dear. When did you know when you were a kid playing that, oh, gee, I've got... Because you were very fast off the mark, very good hands, but you also had that incredible leap where you could stand on people's head and take screamers. When did you know early?
Look, it started probably in high school when I was lucky enough to go to Emmanuel College, and Mark and Anthony Williams were through it, and Paul Adler in the team. So we had a really good team.
Wow.
And they pushed me. To be honest with you, Choco pushed me pretty hard to train because I wasn't the greatest
Even
trainer in
back
the world.
then?
Oh yeah, that was him.
He was born to lead that,
He
man.
was.
He was born, he came out instructing the doctor what to do, how to smack his bum.
No, so look, it sort of just came naturally. There was no deciding, I'm going to start jumping on people or anything. It was just,
Marks up in the yard?
Yeah, just jump into a tree and sort of, with my brother in the backyard. And then when we left school and I was playing the juniors at West Adelaide, Choco would come and pick me up to go to training because he knew I wouldn't go on my own. So this is a pre-season training. I got a bit to thank him for.
Yeah.
But it makes it enjoyable when you're in a good club too. And Westies, even though they have struggled over the years, back in that era there was a really good, strong bond, not only with the on-field players, but the off-field administrators like Shippy and those sorts of fellas who were
what a legend,
who were there to sort of push and hope for the club's best results they could get. Yeah, Doug Thomas.
Dougie pay you well?
Dougie never
Did
paid
he
me
have a
well at
special
all.
draw? Did he have?
No, he might have told me a sneaky lie or two because he might have told me what other people were getting, which was nowhere near the right amount. So.
He played everyone like a German
Oh,
band,
didn't he? Didn't he?
We can't speak to you, Rog, with Where Are They Now without mentioning that horrific injury you had with Stephen Riley. Did you close your eyes and still see it?
Every now and then.
It was one of the worst. Well, it was ever probably.
Yeah, look, it was. It's probably not something I like to. I've watched it a little bit, the replay, because obviously it's there to be seen. But I remember the times in hospital and intensive care for a couple of days while they were checking everything out. And I don't really remember the incident that well, but it took a while for me to get the confidence, even to just.
Well, it certainly shortened your career.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And then when I came back, I sort of I did my knee as well within a year and had an ACL issue, and then that had it again. So after about 85, it was really, I think you said 87, but I don't think I played a game from then on. So, it was a sad day for me because we were doing really well. We were beating North by plenty, and we'd had a few up until then. And that was sort of Jack was coaching at the time, and it was just sort of proving to Jack that, we're meant to be there. So, look, whether I hold a grudge, not really. If I saw Stephen, I'd probably be happy enough to talk to him, but it probably wasn't something that should have happened, let's put it that way. No,
it happens in footy, sadly.
Yeah, it does.
Back in our day, it doesn't now, it's been weeded out.
Oh, well, that's right. Nowadays, even in SANFL, it wouldn't happen. But I know Doug, bless his soul, tried to
get him
because it never got reported. No. And he obviously no games, and Doug tried to get him deregistered for as long as I was out, but that never happened as well. So, it was a bit of a downer, but it's good to reflect.
Well, you roll onto that prelim that year.
Yeah, that's right.
If you had played, if buts and candidates, but West win, North won, and Riley was good.
Yeah, and that's right. And look, I was sitting there in the watching the game up at Footy Park, and with the jaws all wired up and all that sort of stuff. And it was a bit tough to watch that game, that's for sure. But the team in '85 could have gone all the way, I reckon, if they'd have got through that hurdle there. So,
what about some of the players that played in the competition in the 80s? Yeah, who do you remember just standing out?
Well, the Jumbo Prince was fantastic. He was one of nature's gentlemen, but also he could play. He was this imposing figure on the field.
He kicked 151 in 1983.
That's
didn't
right.
He? Yeah.
God, he might have to make the team of the decade too.
Well, there was four of us kicked 100 in that year. Grenville, good old Grenville, and Neville Roberts.
Neville Nord.
And And then Greg Edwards kicked it the year before. So back in that era, 100
lot of
was
hundreds.
pretty, there were. But that's reflective of the game style, isn't it? There was none of this.
That's why we bloody loved it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's you talk to a lot of the blokes that played in that, not necessarily just from West Adelaide, but it was always
attacking.
It was fun. It was, we had to sometimes pull it back a bit, and but the main aim at the start was to outscore the opposition.
Well, it used to be first to 100 wins.
Yeah, exactly. And
at a frenetic pace.
Yeah. Look, I still enjoy going to watch the NFL. Obviously,
love
Westies aren't going tremendously well, but it's still a good standard, and it's good to be able to stand there and still barrack with two lots of supporters, all that sort of stuff. A bit of the old school stuff. But,
Did we ever mouth off at you? Timmy would have.
No, George
Gentleman.
did. George. And poor old Roger Delaney would have to apologise afterwards for the room. But, there wasn't a lot of... Mainly back pocket blokes, really. Gibbsy didn't mind something. A little
That's what I mean. Scotty Lee.
Yeah.
Back pockets had an issue.
Scotty
That's what it was.
Salisbury, I was about to say.
You know why? They always thought they were a different position.
Well, they thought they were better than they actually were. They thought they should have been on the ball.
You're just a bloody back pocketer.
I love it.
They're a rover that had to go backwards.
Well, Rog, you go. I didn't say it loosely in the opener. You were Tony Modge before Modge. You had the mullet. I mean, that mullet of yours. God. Yeah, other than Kernahan, gee, you rolled it.
Yeah, I didn't really pay it a lot of attention, so I probably did look a bit out of control, really.
I look at old photos now, and you lowered your flag. I mean, your bluey now, it blew away.
Yeah,
you got sweet FA there.
It started to fall out not long after I retired, so
Roger,
time to give up there.
Now, for any people that are looking for a 5AA sales exec or Nova,
correct.
Roger, you said he was walking in the corridors. He's our gun.
Gun for hire.
Gun for hire.
Straight in. As he was back in the day.
Exactly. So, hopefully we have as much success here as I did at footy.
No.
You will.
Yeah.
Fantastic,
good on you, Roger.
Mate. Roger Luter's our guest, and all thanks to those great people at Walco. You've got to preserve your summer from mucking around in the pool. Get a Walco blankie. You'll save water, evaporation, and money too. Get your pool a Walco blankie and enjoy the savings. Visit walco.com.au.
5:20, India are 7 for 88, and we are taking your nominations on the back of that. I think Luders, Rog, the great man, will be somewhere in that forward line, according to our listeners.
Yes.
Who
Got
are
some good
nominating the team of the 80s. There's no doubt about that. So 8223 is the sport line number. Get to it. We have lines available. We want to give you that $50 Powers voucher. But let's look at Adelaide's traffic.
At Semaphore, urgent electrical works, Military Road near Semaphore Road. It's done at one lane outbound. Busy at the moment, Port Rush Road at Stafford Grove, also Port Road at James Cogden Drive. Got work slowing things up today at Queenstown with a lane closed there, Port Road near Westport Avenue. And look out for a camera, Briar Road at Felixstowe. The mid-season sale is on at Amart. Save big with up to 50% off a huge range of furniture and up to 50% off mattresses. Offer ends soon, so hurry into Amart. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA's legend of the airwaves, Leon Biner, joins Matthew Pantelis Tuesday mornings. Leon shares his thoughts on what's going on in SA, thanks to NRG Solar. Don't spend another year paying high power bills. Visit nrgsolar.com.au today.
Did you know you can explore Aldi's catalogue online so you can enjoy our low prices here? Or even here. Browse Aldi's online catalogue at aldi.com.au or pick up a printed version in store. Aldi. Good. Different.
Have you got your ticket in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery? You could win the $3.5 million grand prize in Henley Beach that comes with $250,000 in cash. You'll feel like you're on a holiday all year round in the luxurious Scott Salisbury home. Don't miss your chance to live mortgage-free by the beach. Join the fight. To see full lottery details and get your tickets, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14311.
Time to find out what's making news in the Channel 7 newsroom as we welcome Rosanna Mangiarelli to the show, and SA's road toll risen again.
Yeah, it certainly has, Tim. This isn't good news. A double road tragedy near Port Augusta today. 2 drivers killed in a horrific head-on smash. Another pedestrian's been struck by a train as well as an 11-year-old boy's fight for life continues. His dad speaks exclusively to us. A mystery attack north of Adelaide. A man bashed, dumped and left left for dead in a gutter. SA house prices defy the national trend, why real estate here is still pretty hot. The Federal Treasurer refuses to rule out more tax changes after that shake-up of super. A warning for parents about a new super strain of a dangerous infection. How to spot the warning signs, we'll tell you that. Plus a double blow for the Power with a key veteran and a prize recruit ruled out of the final hit out in the West. All this and of course more tonight, 7 News at 6, Tim.
Thanks, Rosanna. And all the team at Channel 7, there's only one choice. 7 News tonight at 6.
Hi, it's Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop Real Estate. Did you know we achieved record sale prices in 26 suburbs across Adelaide in 2022? From Colonel Light Gardens to Croydon, from Kensington Gardens to Keswick, from Maylands to Moana, we delivered unprecedented results for our clients. With ongoing low stock levels and a large pool of buyers, premium prices are achievable if you engage an agent who really knows their stuff. Find out if your home could be the next record breaker. Go to toop.com.au.
Need it fixed? Fitted? Need it flushed? Replaced? Built? Tiled? Cleaned? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Plumbers, your local plumber since 1983. For plumbing, gas fitting, roofing and hot water, give Ken a call. 8364 5855.
Here's what you missed on Dreamscapes. Deep in the jungle, you discover a tower built entirely of toffee, surrounded by a cappuccino moat. The Queen of Ants arrives on a marshmallow boat, ready to negotiate trade sanctions on your mine of sugarific gold. And is that chocolate yacht for you? What dreamscapes are you missing? If you're not sleeping, talk to Respirico Scooter World about an in-home sleep apnea assessment. Visit Respirico Scooter World for all your sleep, respiratory and mobility needs.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Certainly is, thanks to Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. It's 5:25 and another wicket has fallen at indoor.
3 fat ladies.
8 for 88, correct.
You'll get cancelled if you say that. Hello,
that.
Reno.
Rowey, Timmy, how are you guys?
All right, buddy.
I don't know if this guy's been mentioned already because I missed the first hour.
Yep.
Neville Roberts, guys.
Yep,
Yeah, nifty.
He's got a lot of votes.
He's in by
Reno.
the
Good,
listeners.
no, you can't go past Neville Roberts on the half-forward flank or forward pocket.
Yep. Very
what
smart
he
player.
did, early days for West Torrens, but what he did for Norwood,
Unreal.
and state teams for Victoria and South Australia,
Good
Has
on you,
to go
Reno.
in there, boys.
Very
if he's not in
popular.
there, I'm
Yep.
coming to get you.
Well, no, you can't get us. You've got to get the rest of the listeners.
Yeah.
It's your team, Reno.
So you'll be busy.
Hello, Lindy at Gawler.
Hey, Lindy.
Hi Tim, hi Rowey. Oh look, that interview with Roger Ludis, that was fantastic. I had him on my Daffel crate number 29. I've got a picture of him sitting on his lap, and I was there when that dirty, naughty little boy Riley did that to him. And do you guys realise there was a few people that fainted that day there at the Oval?
No.
Did they?
Yeah, some women. Mum said you could hear me screaming all over blooming Westies, but but I'm going to go for Roger Ludis anyway.
All right, there's
Thanks,
another vote.
Lindy.
Well played.
You're a love. Let's go to Paralawi, Rob.
Yes, good, thank you. 2005, I went to a wedding at North Adelaide Footy Club. And I was a smoker then, and probably, 8 o'clock, I went out in the front bar. There was one guy, there was a big guy, and he's called Grenfell Dietrich, and he said, "How you going, champ?" I said, "All right." He said, "You want a beer?" I said, "Oh, yeah." And he was drinking pints. "Oh, yeah, I'll have one with you." Well, 2 hours later, I walked away like a crab. And I went in back to the wedding, and they said, "You had a stroke." I said, "You go and try it."
I reckon he's done that to a few people.
Yeah,
he used to smoke the gaspers too, didn't he?
Yeah,
Eat
you're not
pizzas.
I was going to say, Robert, you're not Pat Malone there.
And sit on people's shoulders. Robert, I think by popular demand, the old Grenvilles are going to make that team.
He is off the charts at the minute.
How you going, Cottagio from Grange? Vinny Cottagio?
Vinny.
G'day, lads. How you going?
Good, buddy.
Look, I'm a West Torrens lover.
Yes.
I just like that centre-half back, Henry Dabrowski. Tough, mean, never smiled.
Yeah.
Played great footballer.
And that was the father of Brad, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Wow.
Brad played at Westies, then he went to the Eagles and won a premiership. I can't remember what year.
Yeah, spot on.
Well, he surely had a smile every now and then, or did he have nothing
Not on
to
the
smile
field.
about?
Not on the field.
But he was a copper, so, you know.
Oh, he's a walloper. Yeah, they don't smile. They just give you tickets. I got picked up the other day, so we're moving house, and I've got a whole heap of stuff in my trailer, and, like, it was a cage trailer. I borrowed it from my cousin.
Yep.
Brother-in-law,
Yep.
Mike. Yeah, no, it was all good. I don't know, one little thing flew out the top, bit of paper. I got a fine for an untethered,
Yeah. Will you appear on Highway Patrol or not? Will you be on that?
Well, it's not as if a brick
I'd
flew
look
out the
forward
back
to it.
or something.
Well, at least you weren't on RBT.
It was a piece of paper. And the walloper made me go back and get it.
Yeah. Well,
so I had to park near the entertainment centre, walk all the way back to the bridge, find this bit of paper, almost got run over.
Did you get off the fine or not?
No, not really.
Was that it? Oh.
Anyway, that's it. It's 5:30. No one enjoyed that. When I tell a story, you don't listen. When you do, I love them. And my story's that bad.
Well, a piece of paper flying out of a trailer's
Whatever.
not a lot.
Time for the 5AA news.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
For all the criticisms of the Live Golf Tournament, the people of South Australia have well and truly voted with their feet. 42,000 fans have bought tickets.
Informing Adelaide.
Interestingly, 40% of them are from interstate and overseas, so that's close to 20,000 people who are going to be arriving in Adelaide in April, who are going to need somewhere to stay, they're going to want to go out to new restaurants. People are jumping at the chance to go.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
No, it's a pleasure. So look around at your leisure.
Malcolm Blight here. The team at Knowles Island Star Caravans design and build caravans from decades of experience. They know because they go caravanning. And 75% of their customers are repeat or referred customers. As I've been saying for years, you'll love the way they do business. Knowles Island Star Caravans.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good evening, I'm Mel Usher. The horror year on our roads continues with 2 more lives lost today, a man and a woman both in their 30s. The Australian economy grew 0.5% in the 3 months to December, but that is slower than predicted. Government agencies in the US have been given 30 days to remove the Chinese-owned TikTok app from federal devices. And in sport, in the AFLW, Ashley Woodland has swapped the Crows for Port. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Semaphore, got urgent electrical works, Military Road near Semaphore Road, down a 1-lane outbound. Busy at the moment, Port Rice Road at Stafford Grove, also Port Road at James Cogden Drive, pretty busy. Got work slowing things up for the drive home today at Hindmarsh, Manton Street near Milner Streets. And we've got cameras, Majors Road at Halloran Hill and Osmond Terrace at Norwood. Unlike costly business FPOS deals from banks, switching to SmartPay FPOS can save your business thousands. Visit smartpay.com.au. T's and C's and minimum turnover apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA weather, partly cloudy tonight down to 13, cloudy tomorrow and 24. Right now it's 22. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
Get the garden you want at Garden Grove with everything from the ground up. Plants and instant lawn, mulches, soils and bark, landscape and building materials, hardware, pavers and more. There's a playground for the kids while you enjoy coffee or lunch in the cafe. Garden Grove, Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove. Open 7 days. Phone 8251 1111 for delivery to your area.
Garden Grove, a garden that I want.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows back to redirect to you.
Nobody beats Statesman Windows, not on quality and certainly not on service. Windows, sliding doors, bifolds and more, made right here in Adelaide, factory direct to you. For windows when and where you want them, call Statesman Windows, states.com.au.
Windows when and where you want them. Windows when and where you want them.
When you're cooking up a seafood storm, go straight to the people that process and distribute it. Samtas Seafoods, the best quality and best prices for all of your seafood. Load up your freezer and mix and match up to 4 kilograms of premium seafood for just $60. And what about the range? Atlantic salmon portions, flathead and barramundi fillets, crumb gar, salt and pepper squid, crumb prawns and more. Mix and match 4 kilos for just $60. Only at Samtas Seafoods, open 7 days, Factory Direct, Richmond Road, Richmond.
If you were on North Terrace today, you might have passed by Samry, the cheese grater. Great things are happening right here in Adelaide. Bright minds are researching diabetes, heart disease, cancer, and preterm birth, to name a few. Every day and late into the night, we are working hard. If the lights are on, so are our bright minds. At Samry, we don't grate cheese. We do great things. Follow our progress at samry.org.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
And welcome back. I tell you what, thanks to Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. India just having a little late flurry, 8 for 106.
The bloody tail wags.
Well, they're wagging a bit. They're going for a couple of big sixes. And why wouldn't you? Because poking around's not going to do you any good.
Well, they're 8 for. We need to roll them over because it's the tail that gets the runs.
Correct.
We take on Queensland at the Gabba tomorrow. Joining us, Redback. Well, we'll call him a seamer and an all-rounder. He's having a magnificent season. Nathan McAndrew. Nathan, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me, guys. Cheers.
What's the conditions like in Brizzy? It's not going to rain, is it?
No, it's bloody hot, I can assure you that. Yeah, we were training this afternoon. I just got back to the hotel about 10 minutes ago. So, it's pretty sweaty conditions, and I don't think there's any rain forecast all week. So it's going to be, a little bit more different to your traditional Gabba green. I think it might be a little bit harder than traditionally.
Yeah, well, unlike India, there'll be some green grass on the fields there, Nathan. It'll be good for you, Seamers. So, win the toss, what will you do?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. Limo, I didn't ask Limo what we were going to do, but sure.
Hey, Nath, just back to the one-day game you just played against Victoria, which was a terrific victory. I mean, you get confidence out of games like that then going into a Shield?
I think so. I think we've got a lot of the boys play both formats, so I think anytime you're winning games and coming off good wins like that, it's always good for your confidence. As you said, obviously it's a different format, and there's a completely different skill set or different ways of going about the game in terms of the white and red ball. But it certainly helps to come into a game after a good win. I think you're always feeling up and about a bit more. So the boys take a fair bit of momentum after that, knowing that we've got a pretty exciting grand final to look forward to after this week.
Yes, the Marsh Cup against WA over there on March 8. But I just, watching it, because I was down there on Sunday, I just thought your fielding, and that was the thing I probably would get the confidence out of. The fielding was amazing. The catching, the running out, the big Wes threw one down. But I thought the fielding was outstanding.
Yeah, I think, energy is probably the big thing that we speak about with our fielding, and especially in white ball cricket as well. If you look at the best teams, and they're always up and about in the field, they really suffocate the batting team when you are able to get on top. And there's a bit of moisture in the wicket, so it was a good toss to win in that game against Victoria. But we really executed with the ball, and the fielders were right up and about. And I think that's the sign of a good team and a team that's all pulling in the same direction. When the quicks are running in and doing their job, but the fielders are also running around and creating a lot of energy in the ring. It certainly goes a long way. It helps put a lot of pressure against the opposition as well. They're out there, they feel like it's 11 versus 1.
Am I right in saying Wes Agar not playing this game?
Yeah, having rest, big Wes. He's had a pretty big workload this season, and he just had a bit of a niggle in his knee, I believe. Nothing, that's going to put him out for the season or anything, but just something that's, probably something he could have played through. He played through that one day with it, and still bowled beautifully. But I think, given that we've got a one-day final coming up, and there's obviously quite a good depth in our fast bowlers, it was just a good opportunity to give him a week on the week at resting, playing with his dog and and taking some load off the knee and letting that get back to 100% for the final.
He loves his dog. Junior Buffs, your captain. What changes, if any? Are you going to ask for 7 slips and 2 gullies, Nathan McAndrew?
No, I don't think so. Lemo's a pretty relaxed character, so yeah, he fitted in beautifully as captain on Sunday in the one-day game. He was, keeps things pretty simple, and his messaging was pretty clear, and yeah, he's not going to overcomplicate it, and he knows what Petty has been doing as captain and Hunty has been doing, and he's not really trying to change any key messaging. He's not trying to come in and make it his team by doing a bunch of different things. He's just going to he's going to communicate well like he always does, and make sure the mark and just chat to the group, and he's, as I said, he's pretty relaxed, so not too much changes. It's been a pretty smooth transition, to be honest, with the boys as well, which I think is credit to Lemo and to Hunty and the coaches and all the boys as well.
It's all in front of you. I had a quick look at the letter getting ready for the interview, Nath, and we got this game, which is at the Gabba, Queensland. They're always tough. Then we've got New South Wales at Karen Rolton after that. 2 lots of 6 points. Should I dare to dream, could we make the Shield final, Nathan McAndrew?
It's certainly possible. Obviously the Gabba's traditionally a wicket that produces a result as well. So, we're trying not to look too far ahead. We're just focused on this 4 days up here. But yeah, if we're able to have a good win up here, then, it certainly puts us in contention going into the last round. And, Karen Rolton Oval can often be quite difficult. It's traditionally a bit more of a draw wicket. But yeah, it's certainly all there to play.
Hey,
Nate, a bit of a disappointing loss in Victoria.
Yeah, sorry to chop in. 9 for 108 now. Young Kuhneman's got another wicket. So you're sitting there in the rooms. Tell us about this kid. He's come from the clouds. He's got the big side part down the middle. Beautiful, Nate.
Peaky Blinders there, too.
He's got the aggressive fade, doesn't he? He's a good fella, Cooney, as well. So really happy for his success that he's had over in India. You're right. It's pretty aggressive side part there, isn't it? But no, he's bowled beautifully. He's bowling a little bit quicker this Test match as well, and looks like he's reaping the rewards from that. I haven't seen the earlier wickets, but it looks like he's bowling quite well at the moment.
Is that a fifer, Nathan?
Yeah, it's a fifer.
He's just holding up the ball, so I think it's a fifer.
Wow.
No, excellent result. Hey, who do we have to look at for on the Queensland side?
I think their batting lineup's probably a bit more inexperienced, but they've still got it's an incredibly strong bowling lineup. Michael Neser and Mark Steckety with the new ball are 2 of the best, and especially up here on the Gabba, they know their conditions, they know the lengths that they need to bowl, and they're probably their 2 match winners, to be honest. So our batters will have a tough task facing the new ball, but if we can keep them out of the game early, then that'll go a long way towards us winning the game.
Well, look, all the best with it, mate. Clean up the balls and then get over there to WA and pick up some silverware, mate.
Sounds good to me.
Well done. Nathan McAndrew, our guest.
He's been a ripper.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he was one of the blokes I was talking about fielding. He took 2
Yeah.
cracking catches on the weekend and helped us to get that Victorian side out for a cheap result.
And we're in the Marsh one-day final.
Yeah.
So really, God, we've had a reasonable year. I think back to when we had Dizzy.
Well, that's when it all started.
It must
Let's
have.
face it.
We've been terrific.
This show
since then.
is going to take the credit once again.
He called it a drive-by shooting.
Well, if it
And from then
it
on...
was just a scare.
Oh.
It was one over the bow. That's what it was. All it was.
Timmy, all due credit to the 5AA Sports Show. Let's go to Osborne. Bobby at Osborne.
Hi.
Hey, Bob.
I just want to say in my best footballer was Grenville Dietrich.
Oh, another one.
Yeah, you know why everyone loves him,
it.
Bob? Because he smoked durries, he ate pizzas, he drank West End cans, and he played good footy.
And then he kicked 10 on the weekend.
No, it wasn't that. No, it wasn't that.
What was it?
He went to play footy, right? But my lad went into under 15 for footy, and he come around and seen him. So he got into the under 15 team for the state team, and he come around and seen him and did a lot.
Yeah. You know what? Well said, Bob, because a lot of people talk about the drinking and all that sort of stuff.
He's a great bloke.
He was still is, a great fella. but he had superb skills.
Oh, great skills.
If he clunked it anywhere inside 50, like Plugger, straight through the
And I got him to do a couple of golf days when I was at Little Heroes.
Can he hit a good ball?
He can hit a good ball. And like I said...
He would rip it and grip it like that other fatso. What's his name that wore the big happy pants? John Daly?
John Daly. Yeah, he could hit a ball. But everything he did, in cricket, he was a very good indoor cricketer as well. So just hand-eye was amazing. As I said, very, very sharp on the trivia as well. Hey, mate, I had a text message come in. We spoke to Roger Luders.
Yes, we did.
And I mentioned that game at Richmond Oval in 1983 when Port were miles in front and they came back and won. Well, I've got another text to back it up. Say, well, tell you the truth, Timmy, there was 15 minutes into the last quarter, so you probably got, 13, 14 minutes left. Port was 6 goals up with a 6-goal breeze, and Westies came back and won. Now, the 6-goal breeze, I reckon, might have a little bit of mayonnaise on it. But I do remember it, because I'd actually made my debut the week before.
Okay.
One game, because Brian Cunningham was out. And Bucky came back.
Buck out, Timmy in.
No, and then the reverse happened. Out you
Bucky
go.
back and Timmy out.
Straight out.
Yeah, but you're only a pup.
I was only a pup, 17 years of age, and played school footy before I went out there. So
really,
I wasn't supposed to. But I thought I was on the bench. I thought to myself, what's going to happen? You're going to sit on the bench all night back in those days, put the blanket on your leg, you'll be right, no worries. Well, within 2 minutes, somebody got hurt, and I was straight on and played the whole game. But I'd played school footy, just about 2 hours before.
Stop it. But you could do
I didn't tell anybody, though.
Who was the coach?
Russell Ebert, yeah. No,
Russ,
no.
If he had known. If he had known.
I've told him the story.
Okay.
Yeah, and he laughed.
5:45, love your calls. Team of the decade, 8223 Let's check the traffic.
At Semaphore, urgent electrical works, Military Road near Semaphore Road, down a one-lane outbound. Busy at the moment, Port Rush Road at Stafford Grove, also Port Road at James Cogden Drive. Busy at the moment with works at Modbury, Reservoir Road near Rapaley Drive, and we've got cameras at the Esplanade of Dinga Beach and Glenburn Road at Burnside. SA's own Kyton's Bakery makes some of the best hot cross buns in Australia. Traditional, fruitless or fruit chocks varieties. Hit the Kyton's Bakery website for your nearest stockist. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sport Show. Keep an eye out for the 5AA Street Team out and about in the sleek and stylish Mazda BT50. From Gawler to Goolwa, Salisbury to Seaton, you can catch the team all over Adelaide. Check the 5AA socials to find out where they'll be next. They could be in a suburb near you. The 5AA Street Team, on the road for Edwardstown Mazda. Buying your first Mazda, trading your old vehicle, or getting your car serviced. It's got to be Edwardstown Mazda. edwardstownmazda.com.au.
We love our vast, rugged country, but out here is no place to break down. For 50 years, the team at Terrain Tamer have been engineering, testing and manufacturing off-road four-wheel drive parts. Over this time, we've learnt what is reliable and how we can strengthen a vehicle to ensure a safe journey. With Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, we're the four-wheel drive specialists. So you can be sure no matter where you are in Australia, the Terrain Tamer team will be there to help you get home. With Terrain Tamer, you're in safe hands.
If I had advice for my younger self, I'd spend more time with good friends
and enjoy the beauty of the outdoors.
And have lots of happy hours.
I would say make the move to FIVEAA because you wish you had done it sooner.
Take the first step to great retirement living. Search FIVEAA First Step to book your Discovery Tour today. Every day, 6 white t-shirts are ruined by deliciously messy fresh pork ribs from Aldi. Your shirt could be next. Aussie pork ribs now only $16.99 a kilo. Aldi. Good. Different.
Hi, I'm Kate Stock from Good360 Australia. At Good360, we help people and the planet by creating a circle of good, connecting businesses with new, unsold goods to people in need, so nothing goes to waste and everyone benefits. If you're a business willing to donate goods or would like to make a financial donation, get in touch. Or if you're a charity or disadvantaged school, register via our website to order the goods you need at good360.org.au.
In tough times, it's the simple things that make a big difference. Like $17 schnitzel days at the Albion Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. We know the humble schnitty can't fix all our problems, but we do know it'll put a smile on your dial. $17 schnitties Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the Albion Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. Making the world a better place. One schnitty at a time. Got to start somewhere. You just know it's a Barreau hotel.
What if I told you skipping today's coffee run gives you the chance to win a Toyota Kluger Hybrid plus more? Just $2 gets you in the draw for the People's Choice Community Lottery. Get your tickets today at communitylottery.com.au. T's and C's apply. SA Lottery Licence Number M14289.
Get a read on fuel spikes, gourmet delights, and the best coastal hikes. Get a read on Today with The Advertiser and subscribe for less than you think. Hurry, search The Advertiser offer today. Need an electrician and need one today? Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Electricians. Ken is your local electrician, and with his trusted team, Ken promises qualified, licensed, safe, efficient work. Give Ken a call. Ken Hall Electricians, 8364 5855.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
5:48, India all out, 109. So the Australians will get padded up and get out there soon to begin their innings, and we'll see how far the ball's turning then.
Well, Matthew Kuhneman, flowing in for the second test, is in his second test. He gets a fifer, a Michelle fifer,
correct.
5 for 16. Jadeja will get 10.
I'll tell you what, it will be frightening.
I hope our batsmen go in with some real intent, like Travis Head, and do what their tail did. Just go for the boundaries. Well, don't just block and look and watch.
Remember,
and wait.
their first 20 runs came without a loss.
This is what I'd do. I'd sweep everything.
Oh, no. Now you're being silly. Rightio.
Timmy!
To another big
What's the batting
championship
plan?
that is about to happen, the championship series in the NBL, Sydney Kings versus New Zealand Breakers. Best of 5 game series as we go to NBL reporter Liam Santamaria. Liam, how are you? And have we got the 2 best teams playing off?
Hey, fellas. Yeah, good to be with you. I think we do have the 2 best teams playing off. They're the 2 teams that finished 1 and 2 at the end of the regular season. And, look, they've been the standout teams across the course of the entire regular season. And now they're going to duke it out to see who hoists the trophy.
How do you think it'll play out? I mean, will the Kings obviously get 3 at home, but will it go to the 5, you reckon?
Well, it's going to be fascinating to see because if it does go the distance, of course, the Kings have earned the right to host that deciding Game 5 at Kudos Bank Arena. But, you know, if you're the New Zealand Breakers, you come into Game 1 thinking, man, we've got a free shot here. Just a free shot at the defending champs to steal away home court advantage for the rest of the series. That means then they can go home potentially and go 2-zip up with a win in front of their own home fans in Auckland and then potentially try to close it out from there. So massive implications from the result of Game 1. Historically in the NBL, if you win Game 1 of a series, semi-final, grand final, whatever it is, you usually go on to close it out. So a lot of interest in how things play out on Friday night in Sydney.
Yeah. Would it be fair to say the Breakers are the best defensive team? Certainly on the boards, their shot blocks are just outstanding. By the numbers, they were. So what wins in finals? Attack or defence, Liam?
Great question, Rowey. And what we've found out over the course of time in the NBL is the defence wins championships. So that's the New Zealand Breakers bring a whole bunch of confidence into the series in that respect. They're the number 1 ranked defence in the league, and they have shown an ability over the course of the season to really lock down. They've got guys on the perimeter who can get that done, but as you say, they've got guys on the interior as well. A guy like Derek Pardon, who is a menace around the rim, and Jarrell Brantley, big, strong ox of a power forward. He's going to have the job of slowing down the MVP in Xavier Cooks, but the other side of the coin is that Sydney, while we talk often about their vaunted high-paced offense, they're also a very good defensive team. So We've got two elite teams who have been excellent all season at both ends of the floor, ready to face off and duke it out.
It's a star-studded series. The league MVP, they got Coach of the Year, the Sixth Man of the Year, the 4 All-NBL players are going to feature. I'm not going to not know where I'm going to look, Liam, but my care factor's nil because the mighty 36ers aren't there. I want to ask you this. What's DJ doing? I know you're in the know. Daniel Johnson.
Jeez. Another good question.
Oh,
Roy,
I'm 2 from 2,
he's on
Liam.
fire.
You're on fire.
Yeah,
the Michelle Pfeiffer reference was a beautiful thing. And here we go. You're just continuing to knock it out of the park. I can't wait to see what happened. No, I don't have any inside word for you, Rowey, but he's a club legend. He's one of the greats of all time in the NBL. Has never won a championship, of course. Spent a long time getting buckets there for the Adelaide 36ers. But Father Time's undefeated. And there's no doubt he sort of slowed down a little bit last season. He started to even kind of fall out of the rotation towards the very end of the season there under CJ Bruton. So he's coming into free agency. What does that mean for Daniel Johnson? Do the 36ers try to bring him back and talk to him about taking up maybe a different role within the group, a bit more of that veteran presence off the bench? Or does he look elsewhere and see what he can bring to another club? Now, that sounds crazy to think of Daniel Johnson in another jersey after all this time, but maybe that's where things lie. In the meantime, they're making moves. You would have seen that the re-signing of Nick Marshall, which is a spectacular re-signing for the club.
Mate, well done, Liam. All the best. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, guys.
He's a ripper, Liam Santamaria, NBL reporter. I think the Kings might win that. I'd like to see the Breakers because it's outstanding.
Kings at home for mine.
Okay. Hey, Freo v Port at Fremantle Oval.
Correct.
6:40 start tomorrow is the real true
trial game, if you like. Yep.
Timmy G and Treaders. We're welcoming Treaders back
to
the fold. We'll be calling the game. Rennie and my good self the next day. Now, you've got the ins and outs, the ups and downs for every week for tomorrow.
Yeah, for Port Adelaide, from the back line, Burton, Jonas, Burgoyne. Halfback, Burn, Jones, Aaliyah, Houston. Centreline, Bergman, Willem, Drew, Dersma. Half forward, Georgiades, Marshall, Rosie. Full forwards, Zach Butters, Dixon, Powell-Pepper. Then Lysette, Wines and Horn, Francis first ruck. And then there's a host of players on the interchange. Farrell, McKenzie, Fantasia, Bonner, Teakle, Evans, Jones and McEntee. The notable outs, Travis Spoke won't be playing, which I'm happy about. No need to play him and just get him right. Jeremy Finlayson, of course, with these syndesmosis. Junior Rowley, we know wasn't well. Trent Dumont out. Tom Cleary, Josh Sin. So some interesting ones there. Tom Cleary named as an emergency. So they're very short down back. They're very short down back. Okay. So we'll see how that game folds out. They've also got some news on the AFLW front. You know, you were mentioning about almost the evening out, or the evening out of the comp too.
It's like an equalisation. It's ridiculous.
Well, Port Adelaide have taken their first scalp. They've taken Ash Woodland from the Crows.
See, that's what I mean.
Yeah. I got to say, personally, I don't...
That's exactly what I mean.
Don't like it. It's just like what you're doing is trying to thin out the talent pool across the 18.
Yeah, not good. Hey, India all out for 109?
Yeah, he's got to look to take the second. No. Siraj is, you would expect that. You would expect that from a number 11.
Yeah, there you go. Now, Australia at the crease. Travis Head is opening with Kawaja. They're in the first over, and he's already made 4 from 3. Trav, keep that up. Don't worry about blocky, looky, sweepy.
Well, it's not his game.
Use a straight bat and have a crack.
Yeah, it's not his game.
Well, it's not his game.
He loves playing hard and aggressive.
He
so
does.
You got to go for that. I agree, because as we can see, that ball is turning everywhere. It's going to be a difficult innings no matter what.
It is. Look, it's 3 minutes to 6. After 6 o'clock, we're going to speak to Craig Mottram. Probably our best
middle distance runner for a long time.
Yeah, he's got a great story to tell, so do not miss that.
Yep.
We have our sample team of the 80s.
Yeah.
The forward line will be revealed.
Yeah.
You can still get your nominations in now. Timmy, are you collating it?
I am.
You're the chairman of selectors.
And look, we just had a Foodland text come in and said, hey, fellas, what about Tim Evans? Absolute champion. Correct. Won the Chem Farmer in 80, 81 and 82. Kicked 694 goals in the 80s, just in the 80s.
That'll do it.
1,000 for each career, but it's the people's vote.
Yeah.
And the people are voting Grenville Dietrich.
Well, then Grenville gets
Roger
in.
Luders at the moment. Stevie Nichols has got a heap of votes.
Nifty Neville.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, it's going to be an amazing team. So the full forward position looks like might go to the great man.
Let's go to our 5AA News.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Hi, it's Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop Real Estate. Despite predictions of tough times, Adelaide's market continues to defy the trend, with properties increasing by 10.1% through 2022. With stock levels in Adelaide down by almost 15% compared with 12 months ago, demand for quality homes across all suburbs continues to outweigh supply. This means there are still good opportunities to achieve a premium price for your property. Visit toop.com.au to find out your home's value in the current market.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated, because it's personal.
When you're cooking up a seafood storm, go straight to the people that process and distribute it. Samtas Seafoods. The best quality and best prices for all of your seafood. Load up your freezer and mix and match up to 4 kilograms of premium seafood for just $60. And what about the range? Atlantic salmon portions, flathead and barramundi fillets, crumb gar, salt and pepper squid, crumb prawns and more. Mix and match 4 kilos for just $60. Only at Samtas Seafoods, open 7 days, Factory Direct, Richmond Road, Richmond.
Have you got your ticket in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery? You could win the $3.5 million grand prize in Henley Beach that comes with $250,000 in cash. You'll feel like you're on a holiday all year round in the luxurious Scott Salisbury home. Don't miss your chance to live mortgage-free by the beach. Join the fight. To see full lottery details and get your tickets, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14311.
No, it's a pleasure. So look around at your leisure.
Malcolm Blight here. The team at Knowles Island Star Caravans design and build caravans from decades of experience. They know because they go caravanning, and 75% of their customers are repeat or referred customers. As I've been saying for years, you'll love the way they do business. Knowles Island Star Caravans.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
I'm Kathy Nagel, Chief Executive of Western Hospital, Henley Beach. Cancer diagnosis is a traumatic and emotional life event, but we are here to help. Western Hospital offers a wide range of cancer services to those in the western suburbs and beyond. We pride ourselves on assisting our community for the past 25 years in the fight against cancer within our friendly chemotherapy unit. Experienced nursing staff are the cornerstone when providing outstanding care. Visit westernhospital.com.au.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Partly cloudy tonight, cloudy tomorrow and 24. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. A head-on collision at Lincoln Gap on the Eyre Peninsula has claimed 2 lives. The crash involving a RAV4 and Toyota Hilux happened on the Lincoln Highway around 7:30 this morning. Both drivers, a 35-year-old man and 37-year-old woman, died at the scene. A 27-year-old man, a passenger in the Hilux, is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. Acting Superintendent Damien Eichner says major crash are investigating.
There's always factors to each collision. In relation to this one, we are undertaking an investigation to establish the cause of the collision. Every collision is preventable. It's about the behaviours of the drivers on the road.
The state road toll for the year now stands at 26. A pedestrian has been struck by a train in the western suburbs less than 24 hours after a schoolboy was hit at Evanston Gardens. Today's incident happened near Terminus Street at Grange just after 1:30 this afternoon. The 74-year-old woman has life-threatening injuries. The 11-year-old hit yesterday on the way to school remains in a critical condition. The opposition says the latest economic data shows Australian households are doing it tough. The economy grew 0.5% in the 3 months to December, slower than expected. The expansion mainly driven by coal and iron ore exports. Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor says the federal government is failing to deal with everyday pressures.
What we see in that data is a slowing economy and raging inflation. And in particular, we're seeing the enormous pressures now on Australian households. They are pulling back on their savings rates in order to be able to make ends meet.
There are concerns a campaign aimed at luring Chinese tourists back to the country will be hampered by our COVID-19 testing requirements. Tourism Australia is launching Don't Go Small, Go Australia to help bring visitor numbers back to pre-pandemic levels. But at this stage, passengers from the region will still need to test negative for COVID prior to travel. Tourism and Transport Forum Chief Executive Margie Osman says the health policy needs to be reviewed.
The tourism industry has made no bones about the fact that we would follow the health advice as was necessary. The government indicated some time ago that they were prepared to review this, and certainly if it's been reviewed in New Zealand, we'd like to see that happen here, because we need to welcome those Chinese travellers, in fact travellers from any part of the world, with wide open arms.
A cybersecurity expert believes Australia should follow the lead of the US, Canada and the European Commission and ban the app TikTok from government-issued devices. There are concerns the app collects user data which can then be accessed by the Chinese government. Cybersecurity expert Susan McLean says not everyone needs to delete the app from their phones, but for government employees there are obvious risks.
It's really irrelevant whether it's popular with young people. They're not the primary target in relation to the security issues. But I think that Australia needs to seriously look at it and think about the impact, the potential for harm that can occur here, because clearly they've ascertained there's a potential for harm in the States.
Now turning to 5AA sport, and Australia is on top in the third test against India. The home side collapsing to be all out for 109 early in the second session. Virat Kohli top scored with 22. Matthew Kuhnemann took 5 wickets. In reply, the Aussies are 1 for 12. Travis Head has just got out for 9. Movement in the AFLW today. Ashley Woodland has swapped the Crows for Port. St Kilda forward Tim Membry is racing the clock to be fit for round 1. Eddie Summerfield has more.
Tim Membry is back running laps of Moorabbin after suffering a knee injury in February. The 28-year-old who kicked 34 goals last year keen not to rush his progress.
It's a long season, so I'm here to play footy.
Teammate Max King says he's progressing well after a shoulder injury, but isn't putting a deadline on his return for the Saints. In Brisbane, coach Chris Fagan has signed a contract extension keeping him at the Lions until the end of 2025. The club naming Harris Andrews and Lachie Neale as co-captains. And Richmond forward Tom Lynch has been given the green light to play limited minutes for the Tigers in Saturday's practice match against Melbourne.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Elizabeth, got a crash, Phillip Highway near Ridley Road. Semaphore, urgent electrical works, Military Road near Semaphore Road, down a 1-lane outbound. Busy at the moment, Grand Junction Road at Churchill Road, also South Road at Anzac Highway. And look out for cameras, George Street, Norwood and McGill Road at McGill. You needn't travel far in search of a little more. South Australia rewards wonder. Curious? For more information, visit southaustralia.com. For those who want a little more. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Partly cloudy tonight, down to 13. Cloudy tomorrow, 24. Friday, warming up to 27. And Saturday, sunny and 28. Right now, it's 22 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Highway tragedy. 2 more lives lost as SA's road death toll spirals. Policing problems. Our police force slammed in a leaked letter. A crime investigation's being left to languish. Facebook marketplace fraudsters targeting Aussies. The latest scam to avoid. And the supermarket hot chicken verdict. CanStar's official winner. I'm Brenton Raglas. See the full story on 9 News, happening now.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, welcome back to the Rowey and Timmy G show. Thanks to Foodland and Australia.
Not for long. You should sack me.
Oh, well, you were a pest. You're the kiss of death. We've told you before, don't do it. And you did it. Travis Head played back, got out LBW on a DRS review.
I told him to attack. Don't blame me.
Yeah.
He could still top score. He made 9.
1 for 14.
Oh, Trav.
Australia in their first innings. And I just saw a ball turn with Kawaja coming out the play, and it missed his bat by about 6 inches. It's going to be a hard day.
Who got the wicket? Jadeja.
It was Jadeja.
Yeah.
It was indeed. So.
Yeah.
Oh, well, tell you now. Let's, what do we got next?
Goodness me. 1 for 15. It is 8 minutes past 6. Well, when someone of the note of Ron Clark calls you Australia's greatest ever distance runner, I speak of Craig Mottram, 4-time Olympian, you know you're pretty damn good.
Well, you take that.
He's doing some coaching now and joins us now. Craig, thanks for your time.
Pleasure, lads. Nice to be on.
Not a bad little accolade.
Well, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to question Ron Clark, so if that's what he thinks, then I'll just go with it.
Yeah. We'll get on to OAC on Athletics Club. It's brilliant. 5,000 metres. Did it find you or you found it?
Running found me, I think. Look, I was always good at it. I used to run like most young kids do with their parents or whatever, did little apps and everything else. And then I think it's one of those sports that if you don't love it, that finds you out pretty quickly. So I think for me, the middle distance stuff was always my go. I was never really quick over a short distance. But the 5,000 is a tough event. Actually, at the beginning of my career, I actually tried to qualify in the 1,500 for the Olympics in Sydney, fell over at the trial, and then was given a spot in the 5,000. So to answer your question, yes, it found me.
It did. I can remember the Sydney Olympics because I actually drove there with my wife. I thought, well, how many Olympics are we going to have? Can you believe it's 23 years ago? You're a 20-year-old cock with that long stride of yours. I mean, honestly, where's time gone, Craig Mottram?
It is very scary. I mean, I had a long career and a career I'm very happy with. But I've got 4 kids since I finished running full time, 4 of my own children. We've set up our own business. I'm now, obviously, as we're going to discuss, leading this new OAC program in Australia, and it's amazing how quickly the last 23 years since Sydney have gone. And what's even more scary is we've got the Olympics in Brisbane in 2032, only 9 years away, and that'll come around really quickly.
Yeah. They say the fitter you are, the more likely you'll have girls. I'm tipping you've got 4 girls.
I got 3 boys and a girl.
Oh, damn it!
Clearly not very fit.
Ruined the theory.
Imagine how good I would have been if I was fit, I tell you.
Oh, hang on, that was swimmers. You're not a swimmer.
Yeah, there we go.
No, definitely not a swimmer. Although they are swimming well, apparently.
Hey, Craig, the OAC that you just mentioned, it's had some good names in it, Ollie Hoare and Morgan McDonald, but can you tell us about the program?
Yeah, absolutely. So the OAC stands for On Athletic Club. It's a globally backed professional running team by the brand On, so the running shoes On and the apparel brand On, based out of Switzerland. It's been going for nearly 4 years in the US with Coach Dathan Ritzenheim. They've had a lot of success with many of our own Australian athletes, Ollie Hoare and Morgan, who you mentioned. And then the extension, or the new extension of that, is for us to build a professional running team in Oceania based here in Melbourne. Look, it's been a long time coming. There's been a lot of work. We're really excited about it. It's the first of its kind in Australia to actually offer our up-and-coming talent in Australia in middle distance the opportunity to be professional, which is amazing. And as I've already sort of said, the Olympics are only 9 years off in Brisbane. We've actually got the Commonwealth Games in Victoria in 2026. So we've got lots of things on the radar which we're going to build this team towards and see how we can get them on the medal podium in those events.
I was going to say, tell us about some of the kids that have come in as team members.
Yeah, so we've got 4 girls, Keely Small, Claudia Hollingsworth, Tess Kersop-Cole and Morty Skyring. All are in the 8 to 1500 event disciplines. Claudia Hollingsworth is probably the first signing we made with the OAC here in Australia. She's 17, went to the World Championships last year as a 16-year-old and went to the World Under-20 Championships as well. She's a 800-metre runner. She's a superstar and she's obviously got a long-term prospects in the sport. The others are national medalists in their respective event disciplines. and obviously very exciting to work with such a strong group of girls. From the boys' point of view, Ben Buckingham's an Olympian already in the steeple, the 3,000 metre steeplechase. He's been brought in as a mature head in terms of the development of the boys' team, but also has this massive potential, untapped potential, which I believe we can get out of him in the next 6 to 12 months to break our long-standing national steeple record, which is 8:16. Sean Crichton has it, and then go on to make finals in the World Champs later this year in Budapest, and then obviously for him, Paris 2024 is certainly on the radar. So it's a really good mix. We've got a lot of young talent, and then we've also got a couple of mature heads in there just to help guide the team, and we're really actively at the moment chatting to some of our best young middle distance runners in the country, currently stationed here in Australia, but also have a pipeline of talent in the US, which are really keen and eager to get back to Australia to join this team.
I can see this being enormous back in your day, and I can see why, Craig, you've got behind it. How tough was it for you with funds back in the day?
Look, it was challenging, but I mean, for me, I was quite lucky. I was at a level good enough to get contracts I was with Nike for many years and then Adidas for the latter part of my career, but there was never a group like what this is providing. And one of the fundamental things behind building this is to actually create a team and to actually have, because athletics is an individual sport, we know that, and it can be really lonely travelling and going to places to train and having it as a profession is almost impossible, or has been impossible in Australia up until now. So to have this team, to have it globally backed, most importantly, for the long term, so this isn't something that will fall over next year. This has been backed by the founders of On, and it's a very, very high priority for the brand for the next decade at least, and beyond. It'll outlive me, potentially.
Well, that'll be good.
Yeah, that's right. But I think, we've built it, and I've built it around around the design of creating something I'd wished that I had when I was running. So fully supporting the athletes, giving them everything they need, giving them a training base and an environment, and it's a standalone model. It's not something that requires funding from the government or the institution. And those guys do a great job, but we wanted to build something that we don't rely on anyone else. If we want to do something, we can go and do it. If we want to travel there, we'll travel. If they need altitude tents, here you go. How many do you want?
Wow.
It's really giving our guys and girls the best chance to be world-class in middle distance.
Okay, so who does fund it then?
Well, On fund it. So the brand On funds it. So, the OAC is globally backed by the running brand On.
That's amazing.
Isn't that great?
Oh, it's awesome, because you know how hard it is to get funding and the like. And I noticed that post the last Olympics in Tokyo, we had a big list of what the government actually can put into all and you think to yourself, how are you going to get any medals out of that? Because it's not enough money, is it?
Well, it makes it hard. I mean, it certainly does. But you'll see over the next 9 years, and this happened prior to Sydney in the early 1990s as well with the Sydney Olympics. There will be an injection of funding. There's already a noticeable increase in the potential support, in particular up in Queensland and things like that, where they're now starting to consider where these events are going to be held, and the universities and things up there are looking to build different things to encourage athletes to train and base themselves in Queensland. But for our guys, we've got to look at who's going to be relevant in 2032. And to be honest, the athletes that are currently performing at our top level in teams today are not the athletes that are going to represent Australia, or are unlikely to be the athletes that represent Australia in 2032.
Correct.
The athletes that we need for 2032 are the ones that need the funding now. And they're not at a level to get it. So we're building this team with the development and that long-term strategy in mind to actually get on board with these athletes and bloody help them now, because that's when they need it.
Brilliant. Craig, I'm looking for funding. I'm an international athlete. I've ran 5 New York marathons. I'm looking to do a 6. How do I apply?
Well, I would have notified you if you were on my list. So, unfortunately, you've missed out at this early stage.
Well, mate, who are your talent scouts? What?
Well,
go on. You guys go.
Yeah, he has joined a darts team. So maybe if I want to look at some uniforms for him, he'll be very happy.
We'll partner with CUB as well, I think, if that's going to be your
There you go.
target.
He's onto it.
We want to build a team that's aspirational. So obviously,
fantastic.
We're fielding emails every day from contacts from athletes and things like that, and which is really exciting. It launched only a week ago. I mean, we've been working on it for 18 months, but to actually officially launch it and now openly have conversations with athletes that are really excited about what this could do for them is fantastic. So, I mean, reach out if you want to know more about it and you think you're of that ability. Come and reach out. We're more than happy to have a chat.
Great.
OAC On Athletics Club, Craig Mottram. They're in good hands. A 4-time Olympian, one of our absolute stars. Hey, Craig, well done. Thanks for your time.
You're a legend. Thanks very much, guys. See you later.
Great work. Craig Mottram, our guest.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That's a really good concept.
My word.
Really good concept.
So no government funding. They raise the money through the clothing and they look after young athletes.
Yeah, I didn't like your chances of being involved. That was the only thing. Yeah, it didn't look like he was that keen
it was
to
sort of like,
get you in amongst it. So,
now, here we go. Do we do a drum roll here? Or
oh, is it a drum roll?
Let's do a drum roll.
Oh, we're not doing it after the break?
No, we're going to set it up.
You're teasing it?
I'm doing a tease.
Oh, I
the
like
sample team of the 80s, the team of the decade, the forward line will be revealed after the break. You can still get late nominations in on the Foodland text or a call, 822 300 Now, let's make this perfectly clear.
Yep.
This is your team.
Yeah.
We've collated it.
Oh, yeah.
No influence from Tim Geneva or S. Rowe, who's the captain and I'm in the co-pilot seat.
Well, there's the Foodland stream. I've been writing down
Hold it up.
names. I've got stuff everywhere.
There you go.
Just collating the votes. There's another sheet of it. Yeah.
All right. Lines available. Back after the break.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
For over 55 years, Fairmont Homes have been one of SA's most trusted home builders. And when it comes to quality at unbeatable value, it's always Fairmont. And right now, when you build with Fairmont, you'll receive free luxury kitchen and bathroom upgrades, free 2.7 metre high ceilings, plus free air. An offer this good has to be for a limited time only, so get in quick. For more details, visit fairmonthomes.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Hey, you in the car. If your next service is due, just remember that Mawson Lakes Mazda has your back. We'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash, and your breakfast or lunch is on us. Your car gets the love too, with our state-of-the-art service centre brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, we'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
This station endorses the Commercial Radio Code of Practice, which has been registered by the Australian Communications and Media Authority. Content on this station is regulated by the Code. The Code covers areas such as material not suitable for broadcast, news and current affairs, Australian music, live hosted entertainment, and the promotion of gambling during live sports. You can obtain a copy of the Code by contacting this station or from the Commercial Radio Australia website, commercialradio.com.au.
At Specsavers, we understand how important it is to hear well. We also understand that right now, the last thing you need is to pay more than you should for hearing aids. That's why this Hearing Awareness Week, we're making some noise. Because you deserve to know what you'll pay straight away with upfront prices. And our everyday low prices on latest tech hearing aids doesn't mean you compromise on quality or expert care. So for hearing care for all, not the few, should have gone to Specsavers.
Experience new sights and sounds with Phil Hoffman Travel and Qatar Airways, with the world's best value stopover deals for a taste of culture and shopping en route to your next European adventure. Make the most of your holiday by turning one holiday into two with incredible stopover packages in Qatar, starting from $19 per person per night. Qatar, a destination which surprises and delights at every turn. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel or visit pht.com.au.
If I had advice for my younger self, I'd cherish the quiet times. That's what I like. A little bit of pampering never hurt anyone.
Keep your body moving. It's important.
I would say make the move to FIVEAA because you'll wish you'd done it sooner.
Take the first step to great retirement living. Search FIVEAA First Step to book your Discovery Tour today.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Loud shout, very confident, the Indians. Jadeja will convince Rohit Sharma to go up.
It's pitching in line, impact in line and hitting the wickets. Joel, I'm going to ask you to overturn your original decision. Your on-screen signal now.
Yeah, Travis Head out for 9 runs. Australia 1 for 24 in reply to India's massive total of 109. What a test match this is. I find it very funny. Anywho, moving right along.
Well, we're going to do and announce
We are.
the team of the decade, but let's go to Phil first. Hello, Phil.
Good evening, Stephen and Tim. Look, just quickly, I wanted to ring and express my displeasure at the state of the aquatic centre. I was there last night to watch a granddaughter swim in a school swimming carnival, and I was absolutely dismayed to see the state of the place, and I only thought, and I know you'd be on the same page here, Stephen, the fact that the Crows were going to take that, spend $65 million, bring it up to be state-of-the-art, make it available to the public, and decrease the footprint in the parklands. And to see the state of it last night, I just thought I've got to just ring up and make my displeasure known. It was disgusting.
Thank you, Phil. And you're right, it was the one. And we'd be well on our way now. It was a joke the Adelaide City Council had the sook, the Parks Authority or the tree huggers or the squirrel grippers, whatever you want to call them. It was an absolute... It just typified
Or
South
concerned
Australia.
residents of North Adelaide, you could call them as well.
Yeah, yeah. All those prune
Just in
heads.
case. It was, another
No,
alternative.
I'm with you. Great call, and it is a shame because they're still nowhere near. Well, they are a bit closer.
I'll tell you, on the back of Phil's call there, I think they
Good on you,
do.
Phil.
Both the government and the council have to look at upgrading it now, regardless.
Well, they are, apparently.
They've got to.
But it was a win-win-win. The residents win, the local schools win, the Crows win, the tree huggers win. It was a no-brainer. Right. Hello, Mark. Let's get the team of the decade done.
That's it. Look, I know the modern-day athlete, diet and hydration are absolutely paramount, but a man that was ahead of his time when it came to hydration was none other than Grenville Dietrich.
Yeah. He's gonna win in a canter.
I
don't want to preface anything, but he's had more nominations than anyone.
I can't believe how many votes. It's amazing. I
Because
love
South
it.
Australians loved him.
One of the great characters of our game.
And player. Yeah, thanks,
in
Mark.
the 80s.
Hello,
Love it.
Ronnie. You have the last say.
Yes. Don't forget Jeff Morris on the wing. He was an All-Australian.
Yeah, we're not on to the midfield yet, though, Ron. We're
forwards.
Just on the forwards at the moment.
Come on, Ronnie.
Oh, well, don't forget Rowey.
Tomorrow night,
All right,
Ron.
thank you.
Tomorrow
Ron,
night.
Ring tomorrow.
Ring tomorrow night,
We'll
Ron.
do the midfield.
And
Okay,
we'll
here
vote
we'll do a drum roll again. Timmy, get a release. The team of the decade for the Oaks. As voted by you, the 5AA listeners.
Correct. Forward pocket. Steve Nichols, Woodville.
Yep.
Dead eye. Unbelievable kick for goal, left footer.
Kicked 100 in a year, didn't he?
Kicked 3 in a row. 103, 108,
That gets you.
103, and then, 500 goals. Grenville, Dietrich,
Had to.
forward.
Had to.
Won by a mile.
Sponsored by Domino's.
517 goals. Neville Rocky Roberts in the pocket. Everybody
Had to.
came for that. They just said he has to go in the pocket. And such a clever
I get
player.
that. I get that.
Both for West Torrens and Nord, of course,
My
82,
mighty
84
Nord.
premiership player. The resting, probably going to be one of the resting rovers or midfielders, Mark Nailey.
Wow.
On a half-forward
Good on
flank.
you, Nails. God bless.
91 McGarry medalist, of course, played in the 87 Carlton premiership team.
Too.
S. Kernahan, centre forward. It was not even
No-brainer.
it wasn't even a contest. Everybody gave up on centre forward. They just went for Kernahan. Simple as that.
No-brainer.
And our own Roger Luders, 1983 premiership West Adelaide player. And, of course, 506 goals.
Very popular.
He got in as very popular. And I think when the live stream was on and we showed his photo, when he had the hairdo happening, I think that's where the votes came from.
What do you reckon?
Well,
got sympathy
he
votes.
loved it. He loved it. Well, the fantastic hairdo. But look, great player. So,
And what about the bench?
what a forward line. Well, there's a couple there. Tim Evans,
So
of
just
course.
explain, you're going to put 2 from the defence, 2 from the
Yeah,
midfield, and 2
correct.
from the forwards. You've got a 6-man bench, like a state team.
Yeah, exactly, like that. So the 2-man bench for the forwards was Tim Evans with the 694 goals in the 80s alone and 3 Ken Farmer medals. So he's
Very
probably
cool.
just a tad unlucky not to get there.
Well, it was the vote of the listeners.
Yeah, correct. And Tony Hall.
T. Hall.
T. Hall. A lot of Bay supporters
Fantastic.
out there.
Yeah, there is.
They
Hawley was
and they love that. 80s was a golden era for the Bays, of
Well,
course.
wasn't it ever?
They played in 6 of the 10 grand finals.
To win?
Winning 2.
2, lost 4.
Yep, couple to 3 to Port.
Okay. Now, the midfield tomorrow, so get your little thinking caps on.
Yeah.
Who's going to be in the guts? My lock is G. McIntosh.
Oh, gee, McIntosh is going to get 1 million votes.
He's
going to get 1 million.
He will.
Yeah, he'll get
He
votes.
will.
The challenges to him, I suppose, in the middle, the great sentiment of that era, Andrew Jarman was obviously a magnificent player in the middle. There was a lot of good
as good as any in that era.
midfielders. Absolutely. But I'll just throw some
6-time,
names at you.
5-time, 4-time, Jarman.
Just these are names that I can remember that played in the midfield in the 80s.
Rip them out.
Of course, Nailey, Antrobus, Keith Thomas, Leon Grosser, John Painter, Darren Jarman, Darryl Hart, Tony McGuinness, Stephen Williams, Chris McDermott, Michael Ace, John Platten.
Wow.
It's
How do
just
they all fit
Gilbert
in?
McAdam. It's like,
How do they all fit in?
Well, I don't know that they can. It's going to be the listeners that'll get them
Well,
in.
they will. And a wingman's a wingman. A rover's a rover. A ruck rover's a ruck rover.
So
a sentiment's a sentiment.
think about wingman
Think
in that
about
time.
it tomorrow.
Filkey, you just heard a vote already for Jeff Morris. Of course, Greg Anderson was a regular state player, a 1986 Magarey medalist in the 80s on the wing. So, gee, I tell you what, there's some great players. Tony Simons was an outstanding player in the 80s.
Okay.
On the wing.
The Crows have got their AGM.
That's tonight.
At the moment.
Correct.
Yep, they're going to have a mission statement. We'll be all over that tomorrow.
Correct.
They've cleared their debt. This is the Crows. They've had a good year.
Yeah, well done.
Here there is no red pencil.
Well
like
done.
Port, no
Well
red.
played.
Here there is no red. It is great. And Imelda Lynch has been elected to the Adelaide Footy Club Board of Directors.
Was that a members' vote?
No, she would have been she would have been put on.
Okay,
I think it was ratified by the AFL. She's currently the chair of the Glenelg Golf Club.
There you go.
Does a great job there. We'll be all over that tomorrow. This is breaking as we speak. Listen to our 5AA news. You'll get all that. But after the break, we're going to be back with 5AA's Team of the Decade forward, Roger Luders.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
Senior Constable Matt Brown from SAPOL is on the line. Matt, we've had another one of these extreme speeders down south at Hallett Cove.
That's right, David. Caught travelling at 90